Welcome to the A2C podcast. We're your unfiltered ticket to the world behind high achievers of every kind. No ads here, it's just pure value. So do me a favor and share this if you find some inspiration, motivation, or something else in between. Authentic, no constraints, no limits. Let's go. Tracy Lownsberry.
That ain't it. But it's okay.
Allen. I believe it's Allen Tracy though, isn't it?
Tracy Allen. I just went by. I go by Alan. Friends and family call me Alan.
Oh. So, when did you decide to be a twink?
Born that way, dude.
Born a twink. Born again twink.
Born again twink.
What'd you think of that TikTok video I sent you last night? That dude looks like you.
Yeah, sure.
And it was somewhere, that thing he did. It was.
I did not think it looked that much like me.
Dude, he was somewhere. He looked like you, and he was somewhere between a whippoorwill and Xena the Warrior Woman. Like, it was hitting on all angles.
Okay, I'll take that.
Oh,
I'll take it.
How's your week going, dude?
Good. How's yours?
You don't seem so sure about that.
It's a lot of changes. I don't know when you're gonna press. Well, I know we're recording, but I don't know when all of this is gonna when you want to start it. Are we started already? Yeah, we're recording. But so here's the deal. And if we choose to keep this, so everybody knows, this is our pilot episode. So fuck off. So open format. We've got a 3-hour time block. I've got some time after if we want to run long. If we want to cut it short, that's fine. If we can record for 3 hours and get 30 minutes, cool. If we go for 30 minutes and we're like, yeah, this is boring, we can jump off. Like, it's open format. The idea here is be candid, be authentic. And again, we're just, like I told you, Tracy, this is less about the badass you are at business and more about just who you are. You know, I've kind of found with every person doing good things or really significant things, it's not because they're doing significant things in one area, right? There's a whole gambit of just life. And so I want to keep this casual. Feel free to get drunk. Like we talked about, I don't condone the use of drugs. So whatever you took, I hope you took it before. But if you want a cigarette, dude, have a cigarette. I feel like I need a cigarette.
With this sultry voice soothing you into a
lullaby.
It already feels like I can tell. It already feels, looking in your eyes, it already feels like you just got laid.
Maybe I did. I'm not going to go down that route because it would be a very awkward statement, but let's just say.
Yeah, for real. You're at the office and your whole market there at the office is like 65 plus. So.
Yeah. And the only person I work with is my sister. So.
Damn. I was going to say there's a corner of the internet for that, but you're talking about 2 corners of the internet now.
There's 2 corners of the internet.
What do we do with that?
It's too much. You can't. You have to walk away. It's too much.
So tell me about this shitty week you're having, dude. I want to know.
I didn't say my week was shitty.
Tell me about this less than optimal week you're having.
It's not less than optimal. In business, Carson, and in life, sometimes there's hard decisions you have to make. And sometimes those decisions will not make everybody happy. And when you're somebody who's a people pleaser, your mood can change based on the known moods of certain people in the future, meaning that the decisions I'm making are going to people's moods in the future. And I know that, therefore it's affecting me now. So you got to make hard decisions sometimes. We're making some hard decisions right now. And I have peace about it, whether it looks like I am at peace or not for those like Carson that are staring into my eyes right now. But if you're listening, because it's a podcast, just listening to my eyes. How about that? So I'm at peace. Oh,
you got some sultry sounding eyes. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I have
your eyes look me. Your eyes look me in the eyes, and they're like, "Por qué?"
My eyes are not bilingual. They're so white.
Unilingual eyes, Caucasian AF eyes.
Yeah. I can't say so white. There's a lot of white people that are bilingual. What kind of a statement was that?
Yeah, freaking racist.
Wow, racist against my own people.
I know.
Well, you can't be white and know more than one language. You piece of garbage.
Yeah, I guess
there's not a lot of them.
I guess you're right though. The Slavs would beg to differ.
That's true.
So, is it Slav or Slav?
I don't know. The Slovakians.
Yeah, Slavic. So no, does this have anything to do with like the stuff we talked about earlier?
A couple days ago.
It does, yeah. It does.
That's fair. I'm not going to press you for it because that's
No, it's okay.
Share with the world.
When's this podcast coming out?
As soon as we're done recording, I'm going to convert the file, upload it to my video audio editor, Aiden. He's going to chop out the dead spaces, potentially cut out a few of the expletives, because this is an explicit podcast, but I tend to go overboard.
Okay.
I like to we had a team meeting yesterday, dude, and I don't think this Filipino man quit blushing for 5 solid hours of team meeting.
Who's the Filipino man?
Aiden.
Oh, okay.
So super good dude. I love having him on the team. But yeah, we'll shoot it over to him. As soon as he's done editing, he'll get it uploaded. And then we still need to pick a day. I think weekly we'll have our podcast drop on same day, same time type of thing.
Cool.
But yeah, moral of the story is within the next week, this will drop public. And by public, I mean to the 0 people who currently subscribe, because we haven't even posted anything yet. So,
but you will. Well, Aiden, you're going to do a great job.
Aiden, don't cut your name out, dude. It's okay. I'm going to talk about you.
Keep it in here. Keep it in here. But yeah, it is about what we had discussed, and we have made the decision to move forward with that and more. And, just some of the directions I'm heading, they're just changing, and that's okay. I am an entrepreneur and I have ADHD. So I'm an ADHD entrepreneur, right? So that means that as I'm going in a direction, I like to change that up and create more problems for myself and find solutions. And then when I get bored or whatnot, I change it again. And that's just who I am. So I'm at the stage now where there are some things about what we're doing that I'm bored with, or I am just over, and I want to change direction. And it's going to create problems first, but that's okay. That's okay. I was in my truck yesterday coming home, and sometimes I just like to slap my phone in front of my face while I'm driving, because
that somehow got you home for the last freaking year or whatever.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Right. It's like pushing 14,000 miles, and I feel like it's going to blow up.
It is.
Because it's a Ford.
Those cam phasers. Just so exactly. We're clear on that. Yeah, exactly. I'm at least missing like my third gear, because I don't think or second gear. I don't think I've ever hit second gear. It goes from 1 to 3 or 1 to 5 normally. So, I'm heading home, and I just had this not epiphany. I've always kind of known it, but this thought of, dude, if you're successful in any degree, it's normally because you have failed more than anybody else around you, right? I mean, that's you've heard people say that many times, and it's so true, because I've failed so much in my life in so many different avenues, because I tried new things. I've always been able to throw myself in the fire and just try different things. And, it's gotten me in some trouble sexually a couple times. But other than that, it's anything that would land you as a red dot on a map.
No.
For the listeners that we're going to have in the future, I need to know.
Yeah. No, okay. None of that.
I just want to know, like, if I became a neighbor, does Camille have something to worry about?
No, just a couple guys out there that might be angry with me.
That's the military, though.
Yeah, right. Half my, what? You know what? We're not going to go there.
Yeah, par for the course.
People are going to be like, I don't really know if this guy's kidding or not. That's kind of the fun. That's the fun part about it. Dude, you won't ever.
Yeah. If you wonder if Tracy is sus AF, yes.
Yes, he is.
No.
Yeah. So anyways, it was just one of those things I was just thinking about. And it's, it has to continuously happen, because that's what's kept me on my toes. And whenever I get comfortable, I suck. So stop getting comfortable and just go start doing the hard things. And if you find yourself in a rhythm, it's almost like when I find myself in the rhythm, it's like, you got to snap out of it. You got to go do something different, right? Mm-hmm. You hire people to continue the rhythm so that you can go do entrepreneurial things and let your brain go the way that however, your creator has made you. So that's just kind of where I'm at, man. It's just, I need to pivot. I got to pivot. And it's not just like because I'm an ADHD entrepreneur. That's not the only reason. There's a lot of reasons behind it, but, there's a lot of good behind it, a lot of good. So
yeah. With you, I'm going to say this before I ask my next question, so that you know that I love you, because you are a child of God. Now,
that's right. Whether you believe it or not,
you are a good dude. That said, Are you in any way, shape, or form pissed as hell at yourself about the buyout and transition you went through with your annuity giants just a few months ago to make some of the transitions you're getting ready to make? By the way, we're not talking about male to female, people. It's 2023, but get the hell over yourselves.
So no, okay. I'm not.
Cool.
Yeah. I think the transitions I've made in my career have all led me down this path of just flexibility. And I like it. I think I am the type of person that I need to have. I just need to have in-house people doing things for me instead of partnerships are fantastic and they're great to a certain degree. But I wouldn't say I like to micromanage, but I have a micromanaging side of me that is, I'm obsessed with what I do. And it's really hard to delegate, man. It's really hard to delegate. So I want perfection in a lot of areas. And it seems like every time I ask somebody to do something, it's not to the quality that I want. And I'm not somebody to settle. There's a fine line there, so I just have to figure out where the fine line is.
But that's the thing I've found. So one of the sayings I throw out all the time, I was actually just on the phone with my brother before we jumped on and just going through some things with him. And I say it all the time, said it to him, it hit home. So now maybe I'm a hero, maybe I'm a dick. I don't know. But
fine line.
Yeah. Progress does not require perfection, but perfection does require progress. Right. And I think good. At least in my businesses, my teams, dude, for years, not just since I've been in the insurance and financial services space, but even before that, in auto repair, and my teams have always gotten frustrated. So you call it an ADHD entrepreneur, right? My teams have always gotten frustrated with the rapidity. Is that a word?
We'll make it one if it's not.
The rapid nature that which I transition, and I do that because even if I'm not cognizant of it in the moment, deep down, I feel it in my heart of hearts. It's not ADHD. I'm addicted to progress, because if I'm not making progress, I hate myself. I hate what I'm doing. There's no fulfillment. Then what the fuck is the point? I could just be out on my dirt bike right now. And so I'm addicted to progress. I don't care about perfection. That said, I want to be excellent and elite at what I do in everything I do. Hence the reason, and I feel like you're the same way. We spend 100 to 1 what anyone else in our industry, not anyone else, but the vast majority of folks in our industry tend to invest into tools, resources, education, client experience, whatever, right?
Right.
But I'm not afraid to pivot. Here we are. I just dumped 20 grand into a thing because I thought it was a good idea, and it turns out it's a dumb idea. I pivot. This is the first A2C podcast episode, and because of that, I'm working through all the freaking kinks.
That's okay. That's okay, man. This is, it's what's great about what you're doing with starting a podcast is you've heard it. I've heard it. Everybody who knows you knows it, is that you're somebody who says it as it is, but there's a lot of people out there that say it as is. There's a lot of people that talk real talk with Carson, but everybody has their own unique style to it. Everybody's personalities are different, and everybody has different expertise they bring to the table. So the fact that we have, in our industry, I think it's something you don't see much in at least our industry. Everybody feels as though they need to have a filter. And we're kind of, trying to break the mold here, right? I find myself, it's funny, when we first started talking, Carson, you were somebody who reached out to me about advice on that specific topic. Do you remember that as you're doing some stuff? Okay, so for those of you that are listening, so Carson had reached out about, hey, Tracy, this is kind of how I see what you're doing. And I'm just interested in what kind of thoughts you have basically on how, I don't know, maybe it's your persona, whatever. Because, I had told you, I think during that meeting, I said, well, if you just cut out some swear words, you probably reach a better audience. And what's interesting is since then, I think we've kind of flipped a little bit. You've cut back a little bit on it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad you didn't cut out all of it, because that's what makes you. And if it changes you from the difference of having, millions of followers or whatever, hundreds of thousands of followers, to having tens of thousands or thousands or whatever, but you're compromising yourself. You don't want to do that. So it's like this fine line between, you're not compromising yourself and who you are and the values you have and your characteristics, but you're changing enough to where you're not, you're not turning off people based on like stupid things you could cut out that really aren't necessarily you. It's just more refinement, right?
Dude, so you bring it up, and I remember that conversation, and I actually remember getting off the phone and being kind of angry at it, frankly. I spent a lot of time being angry. That's just my lot in life, I suppose.
I'll stand on that hill with you. Me too.
Man, tits, and anger. There's one of them I can do something about. You decide which. But yeah, no, I remember that, and I have trimmed it back a lot, and I'll tell you why. It's because like some of the things we've been up to, it's not just that I think they're good at this point. We've got we have, I don't know, 5-7 multi-billion-dollar organizations we're talking about on, some next level type stuff, I guess. It's verifiably, you can't argue it. The only ones that argue it looks like a tangent, but I keep telling my friend Peter, there's 3 types of people in this world: cucks, fucks, and pussies. You get to either be a pussy and get fucked, you get to be the one doing the fucking, or you get to be the one sitting in the corner beating dick, watching everyone else have fun, right?
And ladies and gentlemen, this is Carson Porter.
This is Carson Porter. But this podcast, this isn't tied to any of our other. This is just, it's a whole different thing. It's not even the same brand. We're using different colors.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. So it's
more really red and white.
Red and white, still Rev, but I think the podcast Aiden picked white, black, and yellow.
Whoa, dude, hold on. Taking my colors, huh? You know what's interesting about that color combo?
I didn't say gold.
It's yellow. It's yellow.
Bitch.
I'm offended. I'm just gonna call it a bitch, and I got my colors stolen because they're mine. Clearly, trademarked them and everything.
No, dude, I don't know what happened. It's
a great color scheme. Yellow is my favorite color.
I appreciate that. Well, I'm just trying to. I want to be like Tracy when I grow up.
You're like cucks, fucks, and pussies. Yellow's his favorite color. Yeah, he's a pussy. Okay, got it. We got it.
But no, it was kind of earlier this year, like in January, February. A lot of folks don't know this, but I was diagnosed with cancer in January, and it was some early onset stuff. I've been on TRT for years, and because of some of the blood work that was there, they came back and they were like, "Wait, what? Take some more blood." And I sent some more, and they're like, "Wait, what? Shit in a shoebox for us." So I grabbed my nearest pair of Adidas and pulled them out the box and waylaid that thing and sent it into them. Yeah, had cancer, and I don't know. I feel like the first part of this year was super early onset, and again, I'm doing well, on the up and up. Things are looking good. But through that time period, I think I've done more thinking and reflecting on everything in my life in the last 8-9 months than I have probably my whole life combined. And one of the things that came to my mind, because like Tracy, you've heard it from me, I'm a big proponent of these 5 stewardships in life: physical, mental, spiritual, family, work, right? And work being one of those things.
Right.
I'm like, man, all I freaking want, like I'm out making the money I'm going to make regardless. I'm going to do the things I'm going to do regardless. And my heart breaks that so many people get into what we do and they end up losing their house over it, or they end up in divorce over it, because that was almost me. I was almost a statistic. And, we won't get into that, but I was thinking about some things, and it just like hit me like a freight train. It's like, how many people have chosen not to step into something you're doing that is verifiably excellent? You have multi-billion-dollar organizations wanting to invest in you. It's verifiably excellent because you say, fuck, too much, because you're too crass, you're too crude, you're too in your face, you're too, at least at first. And so that's, for me at least, that's the reason for the trim back. So
yeah, you don't want to put this barrier up where you're blocking out opportunities because of something as stupid as saying fuck too much. But yeah, like I said, you gotta stay true to yourself as well. But it's interesting how life will throw you some curveballs, make you think a little bit.
Like twins,
Cancer, twins, whatever, death in the family, whatever, divorce. Sometimes the curveballs that life throw that you can control. Sometimes you can't. I can't control twins, but I controlled how they got there.
I can help you control twins, by the way, just for future reference. Mitt Romney had the best advice I could ever give a human being. He said, put a piece of rice in between your knees and keep it there.
That's good advice.
I mean, good luck having twins that way.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, anyways, Tracy.
That's funny. Yeah, man. So how do you feel about the rest of 2023 for you and your family and your business and all that?
So this is my podcast. You don't get to ask questions. Fuck you.
Yes, I do. That's the whole point of an open forum podcast, fucker.
The rest of 2023 for me, in what sense?
There's not a sense. Any sense. All the senses.
All of them?
Personal, business, spiritual, all of them.
The rest of 2023. An easy one for me because I'm addicted to it is work. I'm committed. I've got some big financial goals as far as my own firm goes on the life insurance and financial services side. And we're well on our way. In fact, I set a goal for $1 million extra in annual premium before the end of the year, and we've already submitted 800,000 in 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Oh my gosh, what the hell am I doing in my life?
Being a bitch? No.
Pussy, remember?
I've had a lot of backed up stuff, right? When I first started this mastermind stuff, I was still producing pretty consistently, but this past year, I all but shut off the tap, and I've had people beating down my door, and I've been saying no, but finally I was like yes, and whoosh, the floodgates opened. But then on top of that, I had an hour-long Facebook Live inside of one of my groups, the new one I just started, CVLI Masters.
Yeah.
Cash Value Life Insurance Masters. Hour long. That hour-long live has turned into multiple millions of dollars invested by 4 insurance carriers on a build-out that they believe will replace 80+% of premium finance policy volume over the next 5 to 10 years.
Jeez.
Dude, it's weird. I'm just a dumb potty mouth tattooed redneck, but somehow this idea, maybe I chicken bones and blood, I channeled it, and here I am.
Emphasis on dumb.
Dude, it's insane. So a lot of that 800,000 is that, and then we have in our 90-day pipeline on money commitments, plus they already know what the product, the price, all of it is, because I put out a 20-minute video, just kind of a Loom video we send out to folks. If they're interested, they watch it and they're like, yeah, here's my money commitment. Let's do appointments. So we're north of 10 million right now on our 90-day appointment schedule with money commitments. It's weird.
Wow. What do you think your close rate will be? Hard to say.
I don't know on this particular. So it's a very particular strategy, frankly. And it's a strategy that gets every entrepreneur and every investor excited. It's cool. It's really cool. But I'd be surprised if we hit 10% in those that can qualify. I think 100% of those that qualify want to do it. You'd have to be a moron not to. There's zero net cost to it from day one through forever. Yeah. It's cool. Literally, these 4 insurance carriers are writing new policies for this and dumping millions into illustration softwares, advanced market teams, et cetera. It was an hour-long Facebook Live a month ago. It's the weirdest thing, but it's cool.
Everything you're doing is cool and unique.
I'd be surprised if it was 10% that can actually qualify, frankly. That said, everybody that hits the pipeline, I'd bet there's, on top of that, say 10% that can qualify and want it. I bet there's another 10 or 20% that even though this isn't the right fit, there's something else. Split dollar, non-qualified deferred comp. They thought this was the right answer, but it turns out that's the right answer. Right. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But like I say, work-wise through the end of the year, I had a goal. It hasn't been blown out of the water yet. It's not done till it's done. And even when it's done in our business, it's not done, especially on this.
Right.
It's a 4-year spread comp period on compensations. So where an agent might normally get paid up front, we take a portion of that over 4 years, and then it's a 7-year, 100% chargeback period. There's no pro rata. So yeah,
Wow.
do the math on that. And the big piece behind that is just, it's an unvetted, it's a new strategy and a new policy for the strategy. And these carriers don't know. They don't know. But that all said, I feel like work is good. Through my own firm on the mastermind stuff, we're good. We've got this event we're lining up for January. And dude, you and I need to talk still, private conversation about that, but it's pretty cool. 1-day event, $100 to $300, depending on who you are and how much I like you, to come for a 1-day event, to have literally. So if you're in the industry, if you're in insurance and financial services, the big four should mean something to you. As far as old guard is concerned, I've got 3 of the 4 lined up for this. And then I've got some new guard. The idea is, we're meshing the two, and they're collaborating beyond, not competing, not I'm better than you are. It's going to be cool. Anyways, Tracy, we need to talk on this. Beyond that, work is good.
I'm ready, dude.
Family, dude, I just want to be present.
You want to be present, not give presents.
Yeah, I can give presents. The money hasn't been the issue for a long time. I want to be present. For a long time.
Being there is not being present, right?
Yeah, no, for a long time, I let work distract me. And then when work quit distracting me, my own bullshit was distracting me.
Right.
So I just want to be present as much as possible. We're looking to get out. We were going to take the camper and the dirt bikes and ATVs out this weekend, but it's been pouring rain. And if I pull that camper, 17,000 pounds with the, fully loaded with the dirt bikes and ATVs and water and all that crap, if I take that off the road, we're done. It's going to take.
Yeah, because you're not driving a Ford, or else you'd be fine.
If I was driving a Ford, I wouldn't even make it there.
Yeah, you might be right. What do you drive?
Right now, I've got the Camaro. I freaking love that thing. And I've got my 2004 pickup, my 2004 8.1 liter Chevy Silverado. Waiting on the dealership. Aspirated? Naturally aspirated.
A lot of liters.
She's got some things done to her, but she pulls that trailer, no problem. But got the order in at the dealership, just waiting on them. Notarized MSRP guarantee they're already trying to back out on because of the strike. But we've got a 24 GMC pickup, that diesel pickup that we'll see probably in the next.
Unfortunately, that's going to come with a 10-speed though.
It's not year 1 for 10-speed. We're a few years into it. There's a lot of supersedes. I feel like we're going to be good.
True.
Thank God it's not a Ford that just wants to lock up its e-brake going down the middle of the goddamn road.
Who does that?
800,000 vehicles. Holy shit.
Recalled?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest.
That's not too much of a big deal.
That's one of the biggest recalls in domestic history.
Just an e-brake though.
Last one that was this big was was it the GM ignition switch issue back in like 08, 09?
I don't know, man. There's been
where cars would just shut off going down the road. Anyways,
that's a big one though.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Through the end of the year, let me summarize it, because this is supposed to be about you. You're supposed to be talking 3 hours, and I've taken an hour of it.
30 minutes.
Fuck me.
Sure.
Through the end of the year, my goals, what is it I'm looking for? Excellence. I just want to be excellent.
Can you pee it yet?
I pee clean. I could pass a test.
What is that from? Piss excellence. What's it from?
I don't know that I can piss excellence, but I can pass a drug test.
You've heard of that though. You've heard that, right? It's a movie.
Piss excellence. Yeah. I've heard it a time or two.
It's like Ricky Bobby or something. I don't know.
But what about you, dude? What would break your heart if you couldn't do it by the end of the year?
Well, there's 3 major things we're working on right now, and a lot of it's in my court. So with twins on the way, I'm going to be taking a bunch of time off, right? So we're looking into a nanny. It's hard to find in rural northern Michigan, but we're looking for one that we can trust to be alone with my wife and my kids. But I have 2 major projects that I've been working on, and it seems as though everything seems to be taking my time. It's like, okay, I've had some appointments cancel. We'll put them in our follow-ups, whatever. My assistant will get a hold of them, reschedule, and that's okay. That just has freed up time for me. It's almost like when an appointment cancels, I'm like, yes, okay, I got some time now. Isn't that funny how that works? Feel blessed, I guess. I got to finish our CRM is the big one. Okay, so because you guys have a custom CRM, how much work goes into building out like automations. And that's a big part right now. We have the infrastructure and everything built out, but we're working on automations. And it's just like nobody, and it might just be me, but you can't have somebody else do that for you, right? You can build like the templates, but you have to go in and put the content in there because you're the brain behind it, right? So that's the problem, is nobody can do it for me. So I'm going in and building out like these templates using just all sorts of different kind of strategies and just trying to make it look pretty. So I'm working with like a designer for like specific things, and then I'm trying to word things properly, and then I'm implementing some of it and testing it. And if it doesn't work, I got to go back to the drawing board. It's such a time commitment, and I'm doing it all myself. It's me and then the designer, but the content's all me. Everything, all the templates already been designed, which we paid for that. So that's a project that's been ongoing for a year, and I want it done by the end of the year. Then I have the Academy. The Academy is something that, I don't want to get too far into this, but we're talking business stuff here. But it is. A lot of my goals are business based.
Get it, dude. Pitch yourself like a douche.
No, I'm not pitching myself. For those of you, there's no way you're ever going to find out what the Academy is. Or it's the CRM. So don't even try. So the Academy we've been working on, and we're just trying to perfect it as much as we can, but we find that like things just change so often that you're just constantly updating. And then what you find is that when you just keep putting content in there, it just makes things look sloppy, right? It's like you get in there and there's 300 hours of content. Okay, well, how the frick am I supposed to get through 300 hours of content, right? You just don't. So then you try to organize it in a way where you put most important content in a structured chronological format. And then you're like, well, shit, everything is important. So then you just find like this, you just like hit this wall of like, what do I do? So we're trying to freaking figure that out. And then that's just a nightmare. And then you're also trying to make sure that like the price of it is aligned with like your morals. So you're not sitting here gouging people, but also you're like, well, shit, if I'm out there producing, instead of doing this shit, I'll be making oodles and boodles of money.
Do you mean like charging somebody $10,000, $20,000, $40,000 for a breakout session at some stupid ass event?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. That sounds familiar.
Just like throwing it out there. Had a little brush in yesterday.
With this person?
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. This isn't a shit talking podcast. This is I'd love to have that dude on the podcast, by the way, because this podcast is not about let me have people on that agree with me.
No, right, yeah.
As long as
you won't disagree with you.
Yeah, I'd love to be.
He's very civil. Like, he's very civil.
That's all it has to be. We can disagree. You just got to be civil. So,
yep, he's very.
But
civil.
I'm also not going to pay him to be on this fucking podcast.
No.
Dude started in 2015. Give me 2 more years, I'll have an audience at least his size.
There you go. I agree. I 100%.
Can almost guarantee it.
Guarantee it. So those 2 goals I want done. And then, God, dude, thinking about being like a rabbit and ADHD. So I had this thought recently, and I was like, you know what? It seems like everybody in their business has a process, right? And the successful ones have like a really good thought out, implemented process. And a lot of times it's proprietary to them. Like they created it from scratch. They named it whatever they named it. So I'm like, what the frick? Well, why don't I have one of those? I don't have a proprietary process. I want one. Maybe it's ego. I don't know. So I'm like, well, I've always liked acronyms, right? Like you call your process an acronym, like you're one of those cucks or whatever. So I'm one of those now. So I've been thinking about this for like a while, and we made one. We got it, and it's pending legal like backing.
Are you trademarking it?
Registered. It's not a trademark. It's a registered.
Dude, I need
because of the process. You can't trademark a process. You can register a process.
Yeah.
You trademark everything else.
Ugh.
Is Rev trademarked?
Is it Tiger?
No, dude. I'll tell you in a second.
Is it Tyler?
No.
Taylor. It's fucking Taylor, isn't it?
It is. It's Taylor.
I see it in your goddamn sultry eyes.
No. Is Rev trademarked?
Let's move on.
Damn. Okay. AG is pending.
By the end of the year. By the end of the year.
Is it pending at least? It takes a year, right?
Yeah. Paperwork's been in for months.
Okay, then you're fine. As long as the paperwork's in, you're good.
But I think I picked the wrong person. So
Gotcha. Well, if you know, if you need a guy, have a guy.
We need a lot that needs trademark, copyrighted, registered.
So expensive too, dude. It's so expensive. Everything.
I dropped like $50,000 this year on it, and
yeah, mine was about 15 for two
probably
things.
10% of it's done.
Oh God. Oh God.
But our stuff's starting to pop off enough. Like it needs to happen.
Yeah, dude. You have to, because some idiot will come in and create a stink. And it might be an idiot who has more money than you. And now you're like, oh shit.
Exactly. So like we have our event RevCon, they're going to turn around and put out an event called RevCuck. And I'm going to be like, yeah, only two other types of people in this world. Anyways.
That's funny.
I digress.
Don't digress. So we're working on some cool stuff, but here it is. You ready? So this is the system that I follow. So it isn't like made up. It's just, I organized all of my processes that I'm already using and then applied an acronym to it that fit what we do. You ready? It's called the Protect Retirement System.
Oh, Daddy, like say more.
You want to know what it stands for?
Yeah. Is it protect with an E or protect with a Y?
PROTECT. Okay. So it's the system we follow whenever, from start to finish. Okay. So here it is. I gotta pull it up here because I don't remember it. Plan, review, optimize, tailor, educate, coordinate, track. You like it? And then there's descriptions of all of that. So it's descriptions for what each step entails. So there's actually 10 steps. So it's a however many letters that is, PROTECT. So there's 7 letters, but there's 10 steps total. It's a 10-step process. There just happens to be like 2 steps under, 1 or 2 of that letters. So it's something that our agents and advisors and whoever and clients plug into, and then our agents and whoever can also take this and use it in their own businesses. It's trademarked, or will be trademarked or registered. So it's ours, but we're going to allow you to use it. So, this, man. I mean, like when you're like, I think we're so similar in our businesses. So like,
except you're skinny and I'm fat.
I'm the fattest skinny guy you'll ever know, though. That's the thing.
I'm the fattest skinny guy you'll ever know. So
I just said that.
I'm the skinniest fat guy. God damn it, Tracy.
Yeah, man. It's just cool. It's cool. It's our business processes are funny because we're producers, right? And you've been doing it longer than me, but we're producers at a pretty high level. We have businesses or sub businesses that also have downlines and people that we work with us. And then we also have, other arms of educating and events and all that. I haven't done any events yet, whatever. So our businesses are fairly similar in a very similar industry, but also very different too, like my industry and your industry. So you overlap with me, but I don't overlap with you. So you know what I mean? Like I don't do any of that, which we want to. By the way, we got to talk offline. I have some very, very interesting, came to me yesterday, prospective cash value life insurance clients. Actually, like a slew of them. We'll talk about it when we can. We'll talk. For those of you who don't know, I have my life insurance contracts with Carson Porter. He is the best. Now ask me how much I've produced and done with him. The answer is 0, because it's not really what I do much.
Fireball offense, but
soon.
At some point in an undetermined future.
Yeah. I do want to get into it, dude. I don't know. I feel like I could. I just don't. I'm not proactive with it.
I guarantee you could. Just the number one rule to being a quality producer in life insurance is giving a fuck, and you don't.
I don't. That's true. I don't.
And that's okay. Ask anyone that's working for Honey Bunches of Oats. They don't give a fuck either.
Don't compare me to Honey Bunches of Oats employees.
I'm just saying that's probably one of the most quality breakfast cereals on earth.
Can't believe that. Now, if you would have said Cinnamon Toast Crunch, now we have something to work with.
Sugar-eating motherfucker.
You ever had grape nuts before?
Oh, I've had grape nuts.
Come on, dude. Don't make it weird.
Tracy. You don't make it weird. Dude, I've had grape nuts. I've had grape nuts. I've had nuts that are grapes. Grape nuts.
Grape nuts. they make a like a Wheaties version of them, like a flake.
Lake nuts.
You're killing me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tracy showed up drunk.
No, actually, I'm completely sober.
Well, you know.
But I am hot, though. I will say it's like 75 degrees in my office because our AC is not working.
Dude.
Which is why I took my sweater off earlier.
I was in southern Utah at the time with my office, and a lot of folks think of Utah as like big mountains, and which we do. Even in southern Utah, big mountains. You can change elevation by thousands of feet in 30 minutes of driving. But southern Utah, where I was at, St. George, we have 115 plus degree summers. And in southern Utah, yeah.
Holy
Southwestern corridor. We're only, for context, depending on what you're driving, if you're driving like a Mazda pickup, it's a 2-hour drive. But if you're driving a Hyundai Sonata or I don't know, anything else that's gonna, scoot its ass down the road, you're a 45-hour ride to Las Vegas. Las Vegas is an hour. It's an hour down the road. So yeah,
so anything other than a Mazda pickup, basically.
Yeah, I remember growing up riding dirt bikes out on the sand dunes there out at Sand Hollow, and there'd be a lot of times like I'd load my dirt bike up. I always drove the truck out on the dunes. I'd load my dirt bike up, fire the truck up, and when you first fire it up, the temp gauge always reads weird because it's been sitting there soaking, right? But once you get riding and driving, it kind of levels out. And after the level out, on the dunes at least, 120 plus, 122, 123 at like 11 a.m. on a July morning in southern Utah. But yeah, AC units went out. My whole team was in the office and they're like, can we go home? And at the time I was like, do you want a fucking paycheck?
Right.
I wasn't that big of a dick, but I might have sent them down to McDonald's, grab the Wi-Fi and get back to work.
There you go.
So,
go grab a sundae.
Yeah, for real. Try and get an ice cream. You won't get a McFlurry for sure, but
too expensive.
Anyways, yeah, AC went out. Continue the story.
That's it. The AC went out today. That was my story.
That's
well, the AC didn't go out. My office building. So I work in like this big, I don't know, 100-something thousand square foot building that subleases office spaces. It used to be an art van. Are you familiar with an art van is? Do you know what an art van is? No. Okay. I don't know if art van is like a Michigan thing or if it's elsewhere. Art van is a furniture store. Okay. Art van. So owned by Arthur Vandry. Shout out to Arthur Vandry. I pointed at the wrong camera because I have two of them up here. So the art van, this used to be a big art van store. And so what they did was they boxed everything off, made a bunch of different office spaces and they didn't change the ductwork. Like they put dampeners, whatever. They didn't really change it the way that it should have been changed. So like during the winter, we get frozen because we have an office. So like my office building, the front, which is actually behind where the camera is, out of my office into the lobby, it's all glass windows. Okay. There's a bunch of, 12-foot glass windows out there. I don't know, like 7 of them, 8 of them, 6 of them. So you get a lot of cool weather, right? Glass windows. You get a lot of cold, gets cold. So we're calling for heat all the time. When the office behind me, which is a doctor's office, they're getting roasted in there because we're calling for heat because it goes through their office and the ducts don't shut appropriately. And then if we both I call for heat, they're calling for AC because they're getting roasted. It all comes through the same damn vent. So then theirs is open and mine's closed. So now all of a sudden the air conditioning is overpowering the heat and I'm getting blasted with AC. So during the winter, I'm cold. And during the summer, I get roasted.
Dude, have you heard of a mini split?
No, I'm not an HVAC expert.
I'd recommend 5 minutes on Google.
Okay.
2 minutes, 30 fucking seconds.
Okay.
I don't know.
I can do that. But I will say there's been HVAC people in here constantly fixing stuff and changing stuff. They're like, hey, can we come in and change this? I'm like, nope. I'm like, I'm in meetings. You can go away. And they're like, well, this is the only day we can come out.
Thing on earth.
Nope.
That's the most annoying thing on earth. Knowing I need a thing, but I'm in meetings.
Yep. Like you're not going to come in here and beat the daylights out of my office. And I have to shut the door and which is interesting. I shut the door and I'm fried in my office because there's 2 ducks on my ceiling. Why do you need two ducks on a ceiling? That's, I don't know, 11 by 11 by 11 by 11 square foot office. Or I could have just said 11 square feet or 11 foot squared, which is different, right? I don't know.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Dude.
All right. There's people that are watching this.
I'm going to let Aiden know we need to cut right here. I got to pee so bad I'm about to die.
Okay, go. I'm going to go turn the AC on.
Okay, turn the AC on. I'm going to pee. I'll let Aiden know to cut it or not.
Aiden, what's up? Just me and you chatting now, Aiden, because I know you're going to have to cut this out. So I'm going to talk to you, dude. How's working in the Philippines? Is that awesome? I bet it is, dude. You guys have the best food. We used to have a Filipino food. There's a Filipino Hawaiian food truck right down my office, dude. Oh my gosh, was it good? So good. Dude, I tell you what, American food, horrendous compared to any other culture, basically. Wife and I had Indian food last night. Phenomenal. Like real Indian, not Americanized Indian food, real Indian food. We had some buttered chicken, some different levels of curry, a little bit of naan. It was great. It was phenomenal. I have a Filipino sister-in-law. It's my stepbrother's wife. So stepsister, I guess. She's Filipino. She just had twins. My wife is pregnant for twins. She looked like she had a torpedo belly because, just be honest, you guys are a little bit short. I'm 6'1". Just is what it is, dude. All good. She's awesome. Oh, there he is. I'm talking to Aiden, by the way.
I'm just going to go ahead and instruct Aiden not to cut any of that.
Awesome. Talking about Filipino food trucks and all sorts of other stuff.
Filipino food trucks and torpedo bellies.
Yes. Yeah. Did you get all that?
100%, dude.
Oh, perfect.
I've been here the whole time, Tracy.
What? What, you got a pisser right in your freaking studio?
Gatorade bottle.
You lie.
Yeah, I do.
No,
I
a pisser, dude. I'm pisser and a pooper right there, dude.
I'm not pissing in a Gatorade bottle. No, I
wouldn't doubt it. Though that's the thing. I wouldn't even doubt it.
Fuck you. Straight up, no lie. No lie though. I had this colleague I used to work with. Super good dude. Was salt of the earth, but he had an uncontrollable bladder, and so he had this plant in his office. This gal that used to work for him started working for me, and her biggest complaint, she's like, "I loved him, salt of the earth, but he pissed in his fucking plant anytime he was on the phone." And I'm like, So later in life, this dude started subleasing an office from me. He had no plants in his office, which I paid meticulous attention to, but he always kept a steady supply of like 3 or 4 empty water bottles on his desk. And I always knew why, Tracy. I always knew why.
How do you
It wasn't the torpedo belly.
It wasn't. It was the torpedo.
Yeah. It was the foreskin.
It was the puppy wiener.
Oh, shit. So, Tracy, tell me, what's the most significant thing in your life?
I don't know if you want to go there in this podcast.
It's an open format, dude. Go where you want to go.
The most significant thing in my life is my relationship with my Heavenly Father and my family. Dude, that's what's beautiful. Significant to me. Thank you.
That's beautiful, man. Why wouldn't I want to go there?
I don't know. Why wouldn't you?
That's what I just asked.
I don't know, dude. I honestly, what's really significant to me right now and everything that we do and in my life in general, and then the people's lives around me, is just trying to make an impact as much as I can. If I'm just being, make a lot of jokes too, but, impact is a big part of what we do. It's almost like, you want to do things that are so much bigger than just you, right? Because if you're the focus, everything else is you won't have the same motivation where the focus is somebody else, right? Yeah. I can easily let myself down 10 out of 10 times, right? I can and I will, because I'm not a very self-motivated person. I think you hear a lot of people that say like, oh, you have to do things for you. You have to be self-motivated. And to a certain degree you do. But when you have goals and aspirations that are larger than you, it puts this level of stress on you, knowing that it's not you you're letting down, it's other people. And that's what makes me thrive. If you asked me, Carson, if you said, hey, Tracy, what's your motivator? It ain't me, dude. I'm not a self-motivator by any means. I my motivation is the ability to not fail other people. That's what my motivation is. So that's what I want. That's what I want in my life. Is to just be the catalyst of helping people the way that they should be helped and making an impact on this world. Sounds so gay when I say it like
nah,
that.
dude. I get it. I think that's probably why we get along, because 10 out of 10 times I'm the same way. 10 out of 10 times I will let myself down because I don't care. I never did. I never have. And people are like, you should work on that. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
But I'm hell-bent. If I make a commitment, I'm going to keep it. And I've found in my life, if I want to move my life forward, it's imperative for me to make and keep commitments.
Yeah.
And so that's what moves me forward, is making and keeping commitments to other people. It isn't me. 10 out of 10 times, dude, I just fuck off and become a Care Bear. I don't care. Paint me red and call me happy. I don't care. But if I told you it's going to happen, I will waylay everything in my life to make sure that thing that I committed to happens. So I think that's significant, dude. I think it's pretty cool. And I don't see anything wrong with prioritizing family, obviously, but also something bigger than yourself. I think if you're the biggest thing in your life, you're probably a douche.
You probably are. You're probably a narcissist, which you're a type A personality, right?
I'm a type L.
On what scale is that?
Leprosy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I just...
Now all the leprosy people are like, click, I'm done. I'm out of here. See ya.
Unsubscribe.
As a type A personality, I think that can be a serious thing. People like to, it's funny because we're on a podcast. People like to hear themselves talk. People like to be the center of attention. People like to be whatever, right? Outgoing in a sense where, you're the important person in the room. But when you if you can maintain the type A personality quality traits, like good traits, but let go of the ego, the pride, the things that all come with type A, man, dude, the world is like your oyster, those are all things we all struggle with, right? Could you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. We all struggle with it. All type A's do. So when you recognize it as a problem and then you don't sweep it on the rug, but you actually actively in your life pursue fixing it, you find that your wife happier, your kids are happier, the people around you are happier being around you, but ultimately the people you work with like you more, want to be around you more, and you're more productive. I find all that as I'm not perfect by any means, but I try to fix those things in my life because I used to be a raging narcissist. Maybe not as bad as some, but pretty bad. So probably like 2013, 14, right around when I joined the military. So just really had to work on that throughout the years. So
where are you headed now? Like the next 10 years? You've come from narcissism to pseudo narcissism. No, I'm joking. Narcissism to this place of imperfection. Like, what's the next 10 years? What's the next 10 years for Tracy?
I think just removing myself out of the equation and just completely, that's no, I do love myself. And
I've got some 1-800 hotlines. I'm going to
yeah, will not need the 1-800 lines. Removing myself in a way where I'm starting to put people not only in front of me, like, my family, God, my friends, but just removing myself. Like, God, I hate to go back to business, but it's just a great thing to use sometimes.
Yeah.
Like in my business, right? Like I am the guy in my business. Without me, my business fails. Without me, my business is worth $0. Okay. So, and that's not me. That's a fact. You can't argue. Okay. It's a 100% fact, not a narcissistic statement by any means. If you knew my business model, you'd understand. So how do I change my business model to give people the ability to fail, but it be okay, right? Because that's ultimately what's going to drive them to success. But I'm so afraid of them failing because I know what that means. I know it's going to cost me money. It's going to cost me time. And when it costs me money, ultimately, it just comes back to time. Because I think I've said this before. You either have time or you have money. But when you have money, you can buy time, right? When you don't have time, or I'm sorry, when you don't have money, well, you got freaking time then, because what are you doing with your life, right? If somebody feels convicted from that statement, go get your shit checked, right? Because ultimately that's what it comes down to. So let's do this. Let's focus on putting yourself in a position where you haven't changed your lifestyle enough to where you have this freedom of time and money that you can now devote to other people so that they can make the failures that you made, or other failures. Hopefully you taught them how to not make the failures you made, other failures to be better as people, so you can get the hell out of the way. Because as soon as you get out of the way, how many times have you heard that statement? When you get yourself out of the way, other people thrive. You ever heard anybody say that before?
I don't know that I've heard it that way, but yeah, go on.
You do. So you get yourself out of the way and other people will thrive. So remove yourself from being the narcissistic, egotistical, prideful micromanager and give people the ability to fail forward. And you'll find that people won't fail you for that long. They'll fail, but in every failure comes a success, right? So is it really a failure? Because there's failure and then there's ultimate failure. Ultimate failure is like they're done, they're gone, whatever. People will fail all the time, but it's not an ultimate failure. It's going to lead to a success. So if you can just remove yourself out of the equation, put the guardrails up like in bowling, right? They're going to hit a strike sooner or later. It's just bound to happen.
You really think everybody hits a strike though?
If I did a Monte Carlo simulation on strike percentages, yes, everybody will hit a strike sooner or later. My 2.5-year-old will hear that. My 2.5-year-old has hit a strike. So what's up?
No doubt. He's got good genes. And by that, I mean Wranglers. And if he doesn't have Wranglers yet, come on out to Idaho. We'll get him some.
He's got a couple. Wrangler might be too name brand for him. No, not Gap. We try to in my household, we're not like a name brand. Whatever, dude. Yeah, dude. Like something that's probably going to fall apart in the next year.
But really, you feel like everybody's going to hit a strike? I don't.
It might not be a strike with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? It might not be a strike with you.
Yeah.
Let me keep going on that.
Yeah, go on.
There was a post recently on Facebook, and it said, and maybe you're a part of that. Maybe it's no, you're not. You're not, because you're not in that group because you were banned.
Once I was banned for being too me.
Yeah. I did I reach out to them? I think I might have. Anyways, doesn't matter. I will reach out to them. Did I tell you I was going to reach out to them? Do you know what group I'm talking about?
Off the top of my head, I remember us having a conversation, but I also remember there were very little fucks given.
Hold on. I'm texting her right now.
I remember talking, and I remember a whole, and I remember her being like, I'll look into it. And it's like, man,
okay.
3 types of people on Earth, Tracy.
Okay. So my squirrel brain. Okay. She's messaged. So I was a part of this Facebook group, and it said, the question imposed was, imposed? Do you feel imposed? The question, is imposed the right word there? The question, God, man, you're not an English scholar.
Let you sort this out with Webster's and Webster's.
All right. The question that was asked was, do you feel like everybody could make it in this industry, or something along those lines? And I said, no. There are people that don't have it. Okay. But that doesn't make them any less than us, that people that do have it. It just means that the people that have it in another industry. Right. Because everybody has a God. Go ahead.
Every insurance or financial services, not every, but there's a lot of folks in insurance and financial services that need some mother freaking cinnamon toast crunch. What would you do if 100%. Those folks were all working in insurance and financial services?
What would I do?
You'd go hungry, Tracy.
You'd go hungry, yeah. You would die. I
don't know about death, but you'd go hungry.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you don't eat, you die, right?
Well, you'd be hungry till like 11 or 12 before you order some Panda Express.
Rack it up on your credit card.
That's what we do. Welcome to America.
Welcome to credit card debt. Where you just keep rolling it over. 0% interest.
Yeah.
So, no, I agree with you, and I know where you're going there. No, I don't think that everybody will hit a strike in what we do. but they will hit a strike. And sometimes you have to take yourself again out of the equation. And just because you're looking at the strike inside of your industry, maybe that their calling was that they needed to be a part of whatever you were doing to figure out what they should be doing. Right. And that, dude, that's looking in like the life picture, not the insurance picture. Right. And it's like, if you could help somebody along in their life to make them understand that they do have a God-given talent, it's just not with you, and that furthers them in their life. And they might come to be a CEO of a multi-trillion-dollar, billion-dollar, million-dollar company at some point in their life because they didn't walk down the path that you walked down, but you were able to guide them down a different path. Do you think that makes you a successful person? The answer would be yes, Carson.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to think about it.
I didn't think about it,
the
Tracy.
definition.
Tracy, I didn't think.
For those of you, yeah, I know. You know that because that's the type of person that you are, and that's the type of person that we are. And that's doing something that is impactful, right? So get out of the way and let them figure it out. But be the guardrails, right?
Dude, I love that. Like one of our little sayings we've had for years before I even started this mastermind influencer, it's not what I intended it to be type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
For years. And this can be corroborated by handfuls of people that have worked for and with me over the years. One of our key sayings, our core tenets has always been impact over income. If you can't make a difference, then what's the point? What the fuck was the point of the paycheck? There's no point.
Right.
You'll just be rich and miserable. Right.
Right.
So I don't know. I identify with this quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, the whole point of this podcast was to be real, talk about things that, are not just our industry related, but, we can use it as a pivot point. It doesn't matter. I was just part of there's two things I did recently. So one, I joined, and I was a part of just a one-day event locally. I've never done local events. I didn't even know local events existed in the 15,000 person town that I live in. Okay. And I did a local event where there was just a bunch of entrepreneurs and business. Well, there's a very big difference between entrepreneur and business owner. I'm going to call it business owner. Okay. So a bunch of business owners they brought together, and what was super interesting about it, man, was that it just made you think about all of the different struggles and successes and whatever that is so outside of what you do. Right. You ever find yourself, Carson? This is a good reel. What's the guy's name? What's the Filipino guy's name?
Aiden.
This is a good reel, by the way, for social media. Carson Porter. Do you ever find yourself talking about money in a way where you don't think it's a problem? You don't think it's cliche or whatever the terminology is there. And it is, and people don't want to talk about it because you deal with money so often and that it becomes such a norm to you that like when you start talking about certain topics, it's like the room changes. You ever find yourself in that situation, or is it just me?
Help me understand what you're asking.
So you put yourself in a room full of people that don't work in the financial industry, insurance and financial services. We talk about money all day long, do we not?
Yeah.
All day. It's a norm to us. It's a norm, Carson. We sit here and we talk about money all day long. And so it becomes part of our life. So where things like, give an example, took my mom out to dinner the other day. I had myself, my mother, and my sister and her husband out. And, I covered it. This isn't a good job, Tracy. You covered your mom's meal. This is it wasn't a problem, wasn't a thought, wasn't a whatever. It was just is what it was. Right. And I told everybody, hey guys, I got this one, right? Like we don't have to discuss it. I got this one. The year before this, I did the same thing, only it was all three of my sisters and all of their husbands, plus some family friends. I did the same thing. Hey, we got this. It's fine. I'm so used to just saying, hey, got the money. I deal with money all the time, right? Like, let's we don't have to talk about it anymore. I'm so used to having the money conversation that it's like, it's so weird when it comes up in normal conversation with folks. Like I was talking with the business owner about like P&Ls, profit and loss statements. And it was like his eyes just like kind of got wide and he just kind of glazed over and was like, well, this is kind of like a weird conversation all of a sudden. Because I started talking about like strategies we're using and P&Ls and whatnot. And it was like weird for him. But for me, it's so normal. I don't care what your P&L is. I don't care what your profit margin is. I don't give a shit how much money you make. I don't care what your revenue is. I don't care about it. It's not going to affect my opinion on you. I don't care if your business is a $100,000 business or a $10 million business, but it's so normal to me that other people seem like they have to either bloat their numbers or enhance, blow up, whatever, to make themselves feel like more adequate, more seen, more heard, more sophisticated, whatever it is. And I don't think it should be like that, man. I really don't.
To your question, for me, in my experience, it's ego investment.
Yeah.
And it's not a malicious thing that people do.
No.
It's society. Society says, if you're not making X amount of money, if you're not X amount profitable, if you're not blah, blah, motherfucking blah, then you're a piece of shit. But guess what? You want to know the biggest pieces of shit I've ever met are the people who give a flying fuck about that. Yeah. Those are the biggest pieces of shit I've met. The biggest pieces of shit I've ever met are the ones who are more concerned about $2.13 hitting their bank account than they are about the moral and emotional well-being of another human being. So fuck that pussy, fuck that bitch, and move on. But the travesty, Tracy, is that we live in a world of 8 billion people.
Yeah. Social media.
6 billion of them are beholden to the bullshit. And that hurts my heart. It keeps me up at night. I don't know what to do with it, but it hurts my heart because I don't fucking care. You and I, we deal with money all day, every day. I don't care where you are, who you are, where you're at. I don't care if you shit with corn in it because you had it on the cob last night or like whatever. I don't care. I just want to help. That's called empathy, right? Yep. I want to because I felt it and I've been there and I am there and all those things, not in spite of, but because of. That's empathy, right? But the world doesn't operate on empathy. The world operates on sympathy. And I'm going to tell you something about sympathy. Sympathy is bullshit. Sympathy is the biggest lie that was ever told to mankind. It is a person pretending they give a shit so that they can sell you their shit. And fuck sympathy right in its ass. I'm over it. I'm over it. Like, I'm so tired of the fake stuff, dude. I had a whole thing last night and you were like, should we talk about this tomorrow? I was like, nah, don't want to burn bridges. But dude, if we break it all down to core context, it's sympathy versus empathy, right? And that's really all it comes down to. And again, it hurts my damn heart that people feel like they need to guard themselves. But I also understand it. They have to, because the day they entered preschool, if they didn't guard their heart, they were torn to frickin' pieces.
Right.
Welcome to America.
It's sad that we live in an age where you can't be you.
Yeah, I love him. And make no mistake, dude, I love this country. And
I do too.
But I've also had the fortunate experience of visiting third world countries and second world countries. And you know what they're not worried about? What the fuck someone else is doing.
Right.
I've
noticed that with other cultures.
Yeah, they're a little bit busy taking care of themselves. And they've also found that, hell, if I'm worried about taking care of myself, I might also need to lean upon the person next to me. But here in this country, I love this country, but it breaks my heart, dude. It breaks my damn heart that more people choose to sympathize instead of decide to empathize. And that sucks. Yeah. So,
yeah, man, it sucks. It does suck. That's a good just overall characteristic explanation. It does.
What else,
suck.
Tracy? What else is significant to you? You've got, I know, you're a creator and you've always given me shit about that. You're going to teach me about some things. I'm going to teach you about some things. I was born and raised Mormon. I'll teach you.
Ooh, I like it.
I'm going to show you where all the things are. I'm going to show you where all the things are. I'm not on Mormonism lately, though. Anunnaki. What do you think of the Anunnaki?
Anunnaki,
Nephilim?
It's all gone.
Damn it, Tracy.
I know soaking.
Soaking?
I know soaking. Do you know
Is
soaking?
That some BYU shit?
No, dude. Okay, hold on. Aiden, you might want to cut this out. You know soaking?
Raw. Let's go.
So soaking, as told by my good friend Christian Brindle, who's in Utah, which I introduced you to, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, you have to be descriptive with this, or else you won't get it.
Yeah.
So I'll say it.
Aiden, do what you got to do, but Tracy, get it.
So soaking is in the Mormon culture, and sex before marriage, obviously Christian culture too. Not supposed to do it, but in the Mormon culture or in the Mormon religion, whatever, you're allowed to place your flaccid penis inside, okay,
Tracy,
and just leave it there.
I was born and raised Mormon. I spent decades in Utah.
Okay. I
understand what soaking is. Now, hear me out.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to explain.
As a man with a penis attached to your body,
no,
imagine fitting something flaccid inside of something else?
No. Well, depends on. Well, I'm not going to go there.
Okay, so can we just remove the word flaccid from the whole description, because there's nothing flaccid about it? Right.
Well, now it's against the religion, though, right?
Oh no, it's erect, but on accident.
Oh, see, now you've blown my mind a little bit.
If you didn't mean to be erect,
how do you not mean to be erect? Like, thought it was gay. Guess I'm not.
Sometimes your heart beats harder.
That's good.
Okay, so continue the soaking story. Aiden, do not fucking cut this. This is the best stuff. This is all of it.
That was it. It was that I didn't know about this. In my first trip to Utah, I was explained what soaking was. And I was like, how do you do that? How is that? That's very interesting.
Did they tell you about how a good friend will lay under the bed while you're soaking and push up on the mattress?
No, but I've heard something about being. I heard something about it being not a single person event, is what I have heard about.
But it's not swinging.
It's just the culture.
Dude. Damn it, Tracy. Damn it. I knew you touched my wife. Sexual. I knew you would make this sexual.
You touch my wife, and I will destroy you. I don't know how that's okay.
You touch my wife, I will ride your face.
Yes. Can we talk about this? How are people okay with that?
Dude,
let's just talk about it.
They can't be.
How are they okay with that?
Like, if you want that in our life, I will tell you, I'm just going to eat a bag of fucking Doritos, have a few enchiladas, attempt a 5K, and then ride your frickin' face. I'm going to make you remember me. I'm vindictive. I'm the same way. I couldn't do it.
No way. There's absolutely no way. It's funny because, there's no way they would see this podcast, but they might. There's some people in our industry.
It's the Joneses.
No. I'll message you offline about it.
Who's fucking Taylor?
Why do you keep saying Tyler? Who's Taylor?
Dude,
Tyler?
Tyler is a joke in my household. I don't know where it came from, but my 6 and 8-year-old, just anytime when you've got like a damn it, Gina kind of joke, it's like, Tyler.
Okay. It's a thing. It's a household thing.
Yeah, it's
a household thing.
No offense to the Tylers, but offense.
Right. I got you. We have what's the one in ours? It is a name. Hold on, I'll think about it. Joe. It's Joe. Joe is the one in ours.
Joe.
I know it sounds very generic, but it's Joe. There's a story.
I don't know that you could get more generic.
I know. But there's a story behind it.
Okay.
Story behind it. So respect. Joe is our thing.
All right, continue the story.
Well, there's a couple in our industry, and they're I don't know, behind the scenes but kind of prominent couple. People who know, and I'll share with you, and you probably don't know them because this is a different industry, our industry, but a separate sector, health side, and they're swingers, and they're known to be swingers, and they're actively swingers, and I didn't know this until I started seeing them at some events, and then I started seeing.
You started seeing them thereafter.
No, not after hours.
Swingers.
Yeah,
and here you are.
Their try.
So they're plenty of fish swingers, and here you are, guppy as fuck.
Guppy, dude. Guppy. I'm swimming around. I'm looking for a home. No, these are out like carrier events and you're right.
That's a joke for the people with kids.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, I started
so
seeing
curious.
it.
Who?
I can't
It's a
say. I
small
can't
little
say
world.
it. I can't.
Yeah,
say
no
it.
names. No names on here.
Yeah, I
but
can't
we'll
say
talk.
it. I can't say it.
We're gonna talk
We'll talk
thereafter.
I'll send you a text right after this.
It's got to be a motherfucking Trevor. It's always a Trevor.
No, but I would tell you they're so wildly successful. So, I mean, so I'm not successful. Let me define success for a second. If your definition of success is rich, they're super rich. They're super wealthy at a very young age because they got a corner on the market. They got a corner on it. So anyways, I used to work with the same IMO as them. So we went to, trips and carrier events and blah, blah, blah. So I'd see them. And then I was told this and it was like, boom, my brain exploded because it all made sense. It all made sense. Like you're all talking at a bar. They all of a sudden leave. They're go talking to another couple all of a sudden. Who are those people? We don't know them. Whatever. You ignore it. Now I know. I would just punt. There is absolutely no way.
Dude, so
I would probably kill somebody if I'm being honest.
Insurance and financial service. I've heard some stuff in the past, like just my wife has shown it to me. We both travel a lot for work and this business, it's one of the top 10 probably for infidelity and or swinging.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I'm not even sure what I'm about to ask. Has it not been a wild fucking ride for you? Top producer, twink as fuck.
Twink as fuck.
Or I'm sorry, handsome.
So there's been some weird things. Some weird things. So let me tell you something, Carson. You get to a point in your life where you're really confident in yourself, right? So like I'm a pretty confident guy. And so you have to be a confident guy. Your wife is beautiful. I will say that. Okay. Your wife is a very attractive person. I'm saying that as a guy who is married, has a very attractive wife, right? So there's no weird here. So Camille's pretty. My wife Elizabeth's pretty. We're great salesmen. We have kids. You got what? 3 kids now? 4 kids? 3 kids?
2, and we're done. After the second, the doctor just told
3.
me like vasectomy is not even an option. Chop that shit off, all of it.
Okay. All right. I thought it was more.
Doll.
That's okay. So you got 2. I got 1. I got 2 on the way. So we're great salesmen, right? So, I'm a confident guy. When you're confident, you can talk to women. Doesn't matter what kind of woman it is, right? Because you have one, and she's beautiful and whatever, right? There's no self-consciousness there when you're at a certain age. Like my wife is this beautiful, beautiful lady. And it's funny because your wife is a kind of like shorter blonde. My wife's shorter blonde. Okay. So I got this short blonde
6'7".
bombshell.
How do you know she's short?
You are a lot. Your wife is
no. We stage all our pictures.
Okay. Beautiful
She's
blonde
almost held
bombshell.
hostage in Russia, Tracy. Fuck.
Yes. I actually ordered mine. Did you order yours? Did you order Camille?
I didn't have to.
Oh, okay. I'd order
a sexy ass motherfucker. I feel good when I get snuggled.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Whoa. Are you little? Are you little spoon or big spoon?
I'm always big. Look at me. I'm nothing but the big spoon.
But big spoon can be in front.
I'm such a big spoon. They call me fucking Big Dipper, Tracy.
Big.
You look up in the sky and you're like, yeah, Carson.
That's good. Oh, it's Carson. There he is.
It's like the episode of Lion
King. Talking to Jackson. I'm like, Jackson, there's the little spoon and there's Carson.
And I'm just up there like,
hey.
No.
So okay, going back to it, your question here. So I'm a pretty confident guy, right? So I can talk to very attractive women. I think as married men, we can say that some women are attractive. I tell my wife all the time, oh yeah, she's pretty or she's whatever, but not in a sexual way. So I can talk to attractive women and be just completely myself. You know what I mean? Like just me. And the thing about it is that those types of women are attracted to that. Tell me I'm wrong, right? Confident men who are not out to get them, right?
Yeah.
So when you're out with these carrier events, I've actually talked to my wife before, carrier events, IMO events, whatever, you're at the bar, you're having fun, everybody's talking. Well, tell me, Carson, how many times are you out there where so-and-so is trying to hook up with so-and-so? Happens all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the time, whether they're married or not, right? So I'm out there having fun, being myself, laughing with women, men, whomever. And what that does is it creates this whether it's married or single, most of the time they are single, like attraction to me. And I can tell they're leaning in, they got the hand on me, whatever. And I almost feel like the roles are now reversed is because those types of women are attracted to guys who aren't into them. Right. And I'm a married man and I'm not. So the answer to your question is, yeah, I've seen it. I've been a part of it in a way where I've seen like how that can be a problem. In a more recent one, I was in, where was I? Was it the Bahamas? It might've been the Bahamas. I was either no, it wasn't Bahamas. San Antonio. I was in San Antonio at an event last year, and this gal from a carrier event, whatever, has a boyfriend, whatever. Great looking gal, very pretty. And everybody was hitting on her. And by the way, she's an active swinger. We even talked about it at the bar and it was whatever. And we went to we went to the bar, we had some drinks, whatever. And it was a bit of a walk. And there was a guy that was hitting on her she was not into. So it was like, all right, well, I'm getting ready to head out. She's getting ready to head out. Let's just walk home. Right. We both walked to the apartment. I could 100% tell she was into me. Let her go. Going up to my room. I'm a married man. I love my wife. Plus my wife was hotter than her. Just throwing that out there. Shout out to Elizabeth. It didn't matter if she was or wasn't. Okay. And it's just funny how many insecure guys in their relationships with their wives, married, whatever, would have just taken that as an opportunity. So Carson, my question is, why is that? Why is it that these great confident salesmen at all these conferences fold like lawn chairs as soon as they see a circle or an oval or whatever you want to call it?
You want some honesty? You want candor?
What's this podcast called?
A2C,
which stands for what? According to Carson. Okay. And
which is literally
Carson
just
a liar?
a play on all the motherfuckers that used to make fun of me and literally chant that because I was a know-it-all, and now half of them have worked for me over the last 15 years. So,
ooh, got him.
Yeah,
got him, coach.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's an entirely arbitrary name. We should probably change it, but whatever.
No, don't change it. I like it. Keep it.
Honesty, I personally believe it's because of the fact that in business, when you decide to get into business, you make an unconscious decision to lose touch with your spouse unless you cling like fucking hell to it. And almost nobody does. Here's the deal. You get into business. Hey, wife, husband, I'm going to go make something of myself. And it's going to take X, Y, Z to do that. And you say that from day one. So you set the expectation. I'm a big proponent of accountability. In it doesn't have to be business, even in our marriage, right?
Right.
But how the hell could you be held or hold somebody accountable to an expectation that was not clearly defined and communicated? So here you are in the beginning with all these big hopes and goals and dreams, setting and communicating what you thought was the expectation. And that's the last conversation you and your spouse had for a month, 3 months, 6 months, 3 years, because you got busy. Men, women, it doesn't matter. This is not a sexist thing. Women are just as guilty as men, and men are just as guilty as women, right?
Absolutely.
But here you are in the midst of it, and I don't care if you're 3 months in or 3 years in, everything you thought it was going to be from day one, it's now different. It's changed. And because of that, the expectation that was set has now been thoroughly violated and thrown away. And so there is no accountability. And so here you are, alone, feeling abandoned, afraid, like you're not heard and all this shit, right? And here this is, somebody at the bar willing to listen who gets it just a little bit more. Here you are, horny as a little fucking teenager because somebody gets you, because this thing that you've dedicated your life to, and you dedicated your life to it because of this wife or this husband and these kids and this thing that you pre-designed yourself towards, it was going to help you in your path towards them. But all of a sudden you're alienated from them. And this person at the bar gets it just a little bit more. If you want to know, Tracy, like from me or why, I guess it's because folks fail to plan from day one on imperfection. And if they would plan on the imperfection of the process, they might be a little more willing to forgive the lack of perfection, not only out of themselves, but out of their complementary party, their spouse or their boyfriend or their girlfriend or whatever. And maybe it wouldn't be such a big issue. But, my wife doesn't get me. My husband doesn't get me. My this, my that. It's all born and bred out of communication that failed to happen,
right?
In my opinion. So you want to get real, Tracy? There we are.
So my assistant happens to be my sister, which I mentioned earlier. And we talk about this. We talk about like personal stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And she's come to realize recently, not that I want to air her laundry out here for anybody, but she's come to realize recently that, social media plays a big role in a lot of these expectations that are set, right? We all know this. Social media, you see all of the happiness, all of the love, all of the projected, assumed, facade of love. And you feel like all of these people are happy, but I'm not. But what you don't see is that those people are not happy all the time. They're just showing you their happiness. And so going back to the religion side, so, I am a Christian, and it's something that I hold dear to what, our values are. And I don't think you have to be a Christian to have values. But ultimately, the church preaches a lot of that. They preach a lot of this like touchy-feely, positive stuff. In society in general, and they don't talk about the fact that, dude, marriage is the hardest fucking thing ever. It is so hard. And sometimes I remember when I first got with my wife. So when we first got married, and I used to tell her when we would have kind of like fights or spats or whatever, I would tell her that having a relationship, an active relationship with you is hard. And she'd be like, why does it have to be hard? It shouldn't have to be hard. You should just love me. And now she's come to realize, holy shit, it is hard. Marriage is hard. It's not that loving the person is hard. My wife is easy to love a lot of the time. Okay. She's easy to love all the time. She's hard to like some other times. Right.
Yeah.
As your wife would say about you, and as my wife would say about me, and now you would say about your wife. Why? Imperfections. And we will never be perfect. Right. But in those imperfections come love, because we don't love somebody for them being perfect. And when you do, you are destined to fail. Right. So stop loving your spouse for them being perfect. You love them with their imperfections, but because I'm not giving a gateway here for people to get out of like wanting to be better or a get out of jail free card. You love them with their imperfections, but you love them with their ability to want to be perfect. And if you're a spouse or whoever, and you're not striving to be perfect every single day, you're fucking failing. Mm-hmm. Because as soon as you stop trying to grow and learn and be better, you're going to get a divorce. Okay. I promise you. You're either going to get a divorce or you're going to be unhappy. Because if I know there are things in my life, in my marriage that I need to work on, why would I ever just sit there and say, meh, that's okay. Meh. I just want to be second tier, third tier. Meh, that makes my wife mad, but that's okay. Why? You love your wife. You love your family. Why would you ever want to make them angry or upset or whatever? Why would you ever want to do that? True love means that you're always striving to be better, but you'll never get there. Because tell you what, there was one person, getting a little religious here, that walked this earth that was perfect, and none of us will ever get there, right? So you'll never get there. So it almost seems like it's an unattainable goal, but guys and gals, try to. Because as long as you're striving and you're trying to be better, and I don't care at what level, I don't care if it's incrementally, you're trying to be 0.01% better every single year of your life. All right, that's a little bit low. 1% better, 2% better, whatever it is, you try to be better. Because as long as your spouse can see that you're trying and you're striving and you're communicating that with them, they're going to want to be. Because as husbands, we're gosh, I'm getting into religion a little bit here, but we're called to be head of our households, right? It doesn't mean that we wear the pants solely. That's not what it means. Okay, it means that we were put here on earth to be the leaders. Doesn't mean that women can't be leaders. That's not what I'm trying to say. Women can definitely be leaders. Go read all of 1 Timothy and you'll see that in the Bible. Okay. Women can be leaders, but men were called to be leaders first and support women leaders as well. Okay. So that's totally fine. That's totally fine that you want to be a leader. But ultimately, we're called to be here as men to be a leader, to lead our households in a way that's not you're putting your thumb over your wife or your kids or whomever. You're in it with them, But it does come to sometimes a standoff where like the last say is the last say, and you go with, whatever you are. But you can't have that relationship with your wife until you've established that relationship in your soul, in your heart, right? So like, guys, listen, love your wives and always strive to be better. And I promise you, everything in your life will fall suit. Your business will fall suit. Relationships with your friends will fall suit. Everything will fall suit. When your relationship is shitty with your wife because you're being shitty with your wife, everything else will fail. Because, and I'm not talking about business, like monetary success. I know a lot of guys that are monetarily successful that treat their wives like shit. You're not successful. I am so much more successful than you are. Okay. Just because you make more money than me, you're a stain. You're nothing. Okay. Because unless you are there as an equal partnership with the people that you say you love, nothing else matters. Because like, this is just a blip, man. All this is just a blip. Does that make sense?
Yeah, dude.
Is that deep?
It's deep, man. I don't want to stop you. Keep rolling.
Well, there's so many religious principles we could talk about, but like, you don't have to apply religion to it for it to be true, right? Like, I think, what's interesting about religion, Carson, is that there's so many other religions, whether you're Buddhist, Taoist, Hindu, Christian, Muslim, whatever it is, okay? Do you know that a lot of those religious principles all follow a moral code? Yeah. Like, I studied when I was in college. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that's one of the things that always bothered me about growing up Mormon is they always pushed, you'd be at a Mormon funeral and they're like, thank God we're Mormon and this person can be with their family again in the afterlife. Yeah. And it's like, motherfucker, do you even realize that's not even a Christian belief? There's not a good person on the face of this earth that doesn't believe if they live a good life, they won't have the option or opportunity to hang out with the people they loved and cared about in some version of afterlife. It's not even a Christian belief. So, again, to your point, it doesn't matter what you identify with. You could be atheist, and somehow I've never met an atheist that somehow in their heart of hearts didn't believe the people they loved and cared about. This life wasn't the end.
Right.
I've never met a single fucking one, except the ones that were so hell-bent on it, they cucked themselves through all life and they haven't accomplished a single thing, except maybe been the top spender at their local 7-Eleven. So,
yeah, that's the difference between agnostic and atheist is that, I think an atheist believes that there is no afterlife, but an agnostic believes there is. They just don't know which one. They don't know. They don't believe. They don't know if it's God. Well, I think God is a generic term for all religions, but they just don't know which one. They don't know if it's a Christian God. They don't know if it's a Taoist. They don't know if it's Hindu. They don't know if it's a Buddhist, whatever it is. So, going back to that. Yeah, I mean, I get that too. I mean, even somebody who's a Christian. So, like, I would be stupid if I sat here and said that my God isn't the God, right? I'd be stupid because it is. That's what I believe, and it's not just a matter of I believe. It's I know. I know, and it's not shitting on other religions. It's not. It's I know it through the heart of hearts and everything that I do that it is the. But we don't have to necessarily debate that. But what I am going to talk about, and what I said before, is that it doesn't matter what God you follow. Almost every religion that I've ever studied, going back to my college days, I was in a course. It was an elective, and I needed it, and I picked this one because I thought it'd be fun. And it was studying Taoism, Hindu, and Buddhism. Okay. And what was super interesting about studying all three of those religions is that I've heard all the bad things about them, right? I've heard the bad things about being whatever religion and there's Old Testament, New Testament, whatever. It seems to be that same narrative in a lot of religions, but there's so much good, ethical, moral teachings, right? So if you're a good, ethical, moral person and you follow our religion, you'll get to heaven or whatever we call it. But what was super interesting about all of them is that good, ethical, moral backing that they follow was so similar. It was so similar, right? I could go in and I could just say, well, wipe Buddha off the map and put Jesus, or wipe so-and-so off the map and put this entity. And it was almost like everything changed. Okay. Everything changed well, let me go back. It was like nothing changed, actually. Everything was the same except for the name, right? So it was like, you following the same moral code that I'm following, you're just calling it something different. So which one's the right one, right? And we're not here to discuss which one's the right one. What I'm here to discuss is that just be a good freaking person. Okay. My religion says just because you're a good person, you're not going to go to heaven. Okay. I fully believe that. You can be a good, moral, conscious person and not go to heaven. I fully believe that. But we're not talking about going to heaven. We're talking about here while you are here on earth, right? Creating an impact while you are here. Afterlife, whole different conversation, whole different podcast. But ultimately, if you can just follow that code of being a good moral person and how that's defined, there's not a definition there that's like up to interpretation. A good person is a good person. Don't be a shitty person. We all know what that looks like. Ultimately, if you're questioning what that looks like, you were raised probably incorrectly. Okay. And we need to fix that. And that happens.
So identify as Tracy. What does a shitty person look like?
A shitty person, in my opinion, they put themselves in front of everybody else, right? They're somebody who at almost every turn will make a decision to benefit themselves versus others. I think that's a shitty person. I just do, right? But there's also kind of a fine line there of like, you kind of have to put yourself in front of other people to a certain extent. So like, man, dude, going back to like the Christian religion, like you can put everybody in front of you, and like the process here is that God will reward you tenfold, basically, right? So like, you don't have to do that. You'll be rewarded ultimately. But like in other religions or just in general, I mean, if you don't believe in that, then you got to put yourself in front at least some parts of the time. So like going back to like business, dude, you got to put your family first sometimes, right? Like, I want to help you. Carson, what I really like about you is that if you aren't in his phone and it's set to a certain whatever setting, you're going right to freaking voicemail. Dude, that is so awesome, by the way. And you made that commitment how long ago? How long did you make that commitment to do that?
6-7 years ago.
Okay. So why was it that you made that commitment? Tell the audience.
I was worn out.
Okay. So you're worn out by people abusing your time, right?
Yeah. Maybe it's because I'm a selfish fucking person, or I don't know. I've got so many fucks to give.
Don't do that.
I've got so many fucks to give, and the giving of those fucks to the people I care about the most takes 99% of it. I have nothing left. Anything else that I give above and beyond that, I have to take out of my desire to be alive, and that's not worth it.
So what you're saying is that you're human, and that you have a certain level of energy that you can give, and you're not an infinite energy, bunny beating on a drum. I'm a bunny. Duracell.
Make no mistake, I'm a fucking bunny.
Listen, Camille, if you're listening to this, we all know. Okay, so
Camille,
you don't have to
hop.
Camille, you put that above your bedboard.
She's a freaking saint. By the way, anyone listening to this shit that hits up my wife, I'm gonna fucking hit you up, but with people I know out of the yellow pages on the dark web. Like, understand something here.
Aiden, just bleep out the name every time. So probably should, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea.
Mine too, Aiden, if you would. It's weird. Do you get people adding your wife on social media?
All the time.
All the time. Dude, my wife's like, who's this?
She's learned to just ignore it. That's what I do. I accept friend requests from people that are in my network, like in the mastermind. And we are so a lot of people don't get this because we push hard to grow it. But for every one person that joins the mastermind, we decline 3 to 4 people. And wow. These are people that are like, hey, here's $5,000 a year. We decline them. So we're pretty hardcore about it. So if they're not in there, I don't even accept a friend request anymore. But
that's a good idea. I was just thinking while you're saying that, I was like, fuck, I'm pretty sure I just randomly added Camille on my friends list. So,
but I mean, she's heard and known about you. There's the one-off that's like, oh, Tracy's never going to give me money, but he's also not a piece of shit. So
I'll give you money.
No, you don't need to.
I would love to give you money.
I'll give you money.
No, I want to give you money. I
literally freaking told you, you make these changes you're talking about making, I will be the first person to give you money.
You know what's funny about this, Carson, is that I don't know if like people in this podcast that are listening understand, but like other than some contracts I have under Carson, which I haven't written, Carson and I have literally zero business interests inside of each other. Like we have absolutely no like skin in the game in each other's businesses. This is probably the most like raw like we don't benefit from each other almost at all. Well, in an extent from like I would maybe say like like an exposure standpoint, maybe. But other than that, like nothing, right? That's what's great about this though, right? Is that we've talked about this offline. We would love to do that at some point. And I think we at some point will, and maybe even have things in the works. But like, that's not what brought us together. It wasn't a business relationship first. We connected offline business relationships because like our businesses almost conflict to an extent with each other. To an extent, would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Right. So like, there's almost nothing that I'm getting for being on here at all, other than I believe in what you do. Right. And when you can get people that believe in what they do, it almost gets you excited because ultimately, I think you and I can both agree that we're just trying to change this industry for the better. And if you can change the industry for the better and you can make an impact, going back to impact, it helps everybody, right? So you're almost willing to invest time, which is money, right? It's money. I know. I mean, I'm somewhat aware of what your hourly rate is worth. You're somewhat aware of what my hourly rate is worth. So we're investing money, be doing this with each other. But why are we doing it? Not to make this sound gay, but we like each other.
It's so
and we believe in each other, and we want to have sex with each other, right?
That's not where I was going with this.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You Jake Gyllenhaal broke ass motherfucker.
Whoa! Did you watch that movie? I watched a little bit of it.
I haven't. I've never watched it actually.
I've heard so many straight guys say that. I've actually watched some of it.
I've heard it's like one of the best cinematic movies.
It's not bad. It is not bad, other than the gay part.
I haven't
It's
watched
really not.
Yellowstone all the way through and through.
Oh, I've watched clips.
And I can do a John Dutton like a motherfucker. We got to get them cows.
Oh.
Got to take them up to the pasture. I got a 22 lever action. I'm also the governor. Let's do shit. Rock on.
But
I haven't watched it. I can't. My wife loves it, but
your wife watched it, but you don't?
Well, she's.
Are you a TV guy?
No.
No,
TV comes on. I get like the first 10 minutes, and then I'm off into La La Land.
Yeah, me too. I never used to be like that, man. I used to be able to watch. Oh, hold on. Let me tell you something. I just finished The Mandalorian because I'm a nerd. Okay. I'm a Star Wars guy. I like Star Wars. Not like, okay, let me just.
My boys love Mandalorian.
Let me clarify this. I'm not a Star Wars nerd. I like Star Wars. Two very different things, right?
The fact that you have to make a distinction lets me know that you're a liar.
If you ask me what the Star Wars franchise was in order, I wouldn't be able to tell you. Does that give you enough? If I was a Star Wars nerd,
that just tells me you're busy doing other things.
I don't watch every Star Wars spinoff. Does that make sense?
That's fair.
Am I proving myself?
Fair. Okay.
The Mandalorian is like one of one, but it is good though. By the way,
Did you like that one more than Obi-Wan?
I never watched it. See,
series?
Told you. I never watched it.
My boys are like, they love it. They love it.
I will. Okay, hold on. I watched. No, I didn't. I never watched one episode. I was thinking if I watched one. I watched all of the Star Wars movies, even the new ones, which are heavily criticized. But I have not watched the Obi-Wan series. I watched The Mandalorian because I started watching it. And I just finished it like 2 days ago at night. So when I watch it, it's like when I'm in bed, sleep, like, everybody's pretty much sleeping. I'll watch an episode on my phone.
On your phone. I can't stand watching shows on my phone.
Oh yeah, I do.
I just want to.
That's the only time I do. Well, when I sit on the couch, I have a 65-inch that's like 7 feet above
Every
our
man
fireplace.
on earth has always said, I've got a 65-inch. Like,
yes. Well, you divide that by 10 and subtract 2, and that's about what I have. Okay.
Well,
whoa.
That's being generous.
I know.
There's a lot of people that are going to stop, press pause, and do the math.
Remember, guys, I'm an annuity expert. It's what I do for a living. I'm a math guy.
And carry the square root.
And carry this. And there's a square root in there. Okay. We don't have to get into that root. Part.
I'll show you the root, Daddy, with an IE.
I'll show you the root. A couple pumps, you'll understand. That's all. That's all it takes.
Don't expect more than a couple.
A couple. Right. Exactly. How do you think I got twins? Whoops. Sorry, honey. Smoking a cigarette on the side. I don't even smoke.
Yeah, that's some Archer shit.
Yeah,
Back in the day. That was back in. I haven't watched that show in a decade, but going to college, living with my buddy in Cedar City, Utah, Southern Utah University. He was all about Archer, and that dude,
Archer was
every
good.
Every time he pumped and dumped, there was a cigarette.
True. You made me
Tracy.
You made me cough on that one. Every time he pumped and dumped, there was a cigarette. That should be like a quote on some of these.
And you're not even drinking. What are you drinking, by the way? Kool-Aid?
No,
dude, you're in Michigan. You're in Michigan. Every single one of us. Michigan is three good stone skips away from Wisconsin.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm drinking Coca-Cola and whiskey for those of you who are listening.
A bunch of drunk motherfuckers. Dude, I'm Jameson and Jameson and Coke Zero.
Yeah. So normally about a third or a quarter of the bottle gets me red. Those of you who have been paying attention to the video, I get pretty red. When I get to about half of the bottle is when I start to get stupid. So
what size of bottle are we talking a fifth or are we talking a handle?
Fifth. This is a fifth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just say because a third and a half of a bottle of a handle versus a fifth is a very big difference.
No. Can we talk about this?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to talk about it? Okay.
We can talk about, like I said, I don't condone the drug use stuff and whatever, but I like whiskey. I like bourbon.
Yeah, I'm a whiskey guy. So let me tell you guys a little bit about my whiskey journey, right? So I've been drinking whiskey since college. I used to be a Crown Royal guy. I used to drink a lot of Crown Royal in college. Started enjoying
green apple,
more finer, everything, dude. Actually, I like the rye, and I would do rye and ginger and do a mixer. And it's good. It's good. Yeah, it's good.
Rye and ginger with a mixer.
Yeah. So Crown Royal as a malt whiskey, it's pretty sweet. So if you can put like a club soda type of drink in it, it kind of calms it down a little bit. It's not I don't consider Crown Royal unless you're an XO or an XR guy as being like a sipping whiskey at all.
What the fuck is an XR guy?
XO, XR, they're the two extraordinary versus extra rare, I think is the two bottles.
And why are not women included in this? And also he, she's, and she, he, it's.
Yeah, you lost it. No, you lost it. You're gone. You lost it. It's gone. Everything is here. It's he or she. Continue. Well, because there's balls and there's vaginas. That's why. But that's okay. But there's no penises. Yeah, there's innards and there's outards.
Innies and outies.
Yeah, right. Like
Eminem said, which you should identify with, Michigan 101.
Yeah.
Eminem said, if you're not innie, then I'm outie. Come on and get in my minivan. Let's get rowdy.
That's right. That's what he said. Yep.
Something like that.
NF didn't say anything like that, but for those of you who like Eminem, but you like a little bit of a clean version, go listen to NF.
Dude, I like NF.
He's awesome.
My 9-year-old, dude. So my 7-year-old, he loves metal, which is like my thing. I'll turn on some Slipknot and he's in the back seat just like, bro. And I'm like, don't say bro. My 9-year-old though, he's like somewhere between I Want to Build a Snowman and Tech 9. And he really, dude.
It's a wildly different category.
Yeah. No, he's like, I want to build a snowman, but also welcome to Midwest.
Yeah, right.
He loves NF though. So
NF's a good middle ground, I guess. Yeah. New album.
He also loves WTP, Eminem, Michigan plates on it with my name on it.
Jesus.
Literally, we'll start a conversation. I'll be like, Jensen, listen. Now, first of all, I'm the boss. And he'd be like, but you don't know how to toss. And I'm like, that's not how the lyrics go. That's not how the lyrics go. And he's like, but that's how my lyrics go.
Oh my gosh. How old is he?
He's 8, almost 9. He's such a smart kid, Tracy.
Oh my God, dude.
Such a smart kid. Just starting third grade. They just did their first of the year reading test to get their book assignments for the year and whatever. And he's like 6.9 is what he tested at. 9/10 of the way through the 6th grade year is what he tested at for his reading level. And I'm like, this is dangerous.
Is it Camille? Bleep that out, Aiden.
No, it was me. Second grade. I am. Second grade, the only book I ever checked out was Berenstain Bears Caught Red-Handed. I checked it back in at the end of the year and I still hadn't read it. To this day, I haven't. But in third grade, I had this teacher, dude, Brian Hinton, Mr. Hinton, Brandon, something like that. Southern Utah, such a good dude. And I don't know, he lit a fire under my ass and I took off. I just took off by fourth grade. I was reading Les Miserables and J.R.R. Tolkien and big fantasy buff. But I mean, just took it off. And my mother, big reader to this day, she can't even see. Bless your heart, Deanna. Love you to death. You can see, but you're getting old. I love you. But she loves to read. I mean, on a weekend with nothing to do, she'll just hole up in the recliner, pop some popcorn, and read for 48 hours. So, my oldest boy, dude, he just loves to read, and it's scary, man.
No, it's not scary. It's good.
No, it's scary. He'll come out with some stuff. Camille and I will be talking about a thing, and he'll come in with a relevant opinion. I'm like, where the fuck did you get that from?
Out of nowhere.
We were talking about world economics, and he's like, well, in Harry Potter or in Wings of Fire or Fablehaven, I think is one of his favorite series. I'm like, Jensen, stop. You're scaring me.
That's so good, though. It's so good.
Which one, though, Tracy? I'm about to judge
all
you
of
right
it's
now.
good.
Wings of Fire?
No, him.
Fablehaven?
No. I don't care about either of those. What I care about is the fact that he is learning. That's what I like.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited for him. He's such a cool kid. He's my best friend, dude. I tell stories about that kid. We did a 5-hour team meeting yesterday over Zoom because we haven't done a quarterly
How do you
meeting.
have time to produce 800,000 in AP in a week? And you're doing 5-hour Zoom meetings. I do a 30-minute Zoom meetings, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing with my time? I need to be fucking producing.
Don't be a bitch.
Sorry. That's how I feel.
No, we've had this on the calendar for a bit. We had Hell Week last week. It's an event we put on.
Right.
And
tell us
we've
about
had this on the calendar for a while, but we haven't had a quarterly meeting in a long time as a team. And so normally they're not 5 hours, but it's been so long. We didn't even get through all of it. We went through two-thirds. I got to record the rest and send it out to them. But I don't know, man, just intentionality. Like, you design your day. And if you don't design your day, you deserve the bullshit that you get. And that's how it is.
We've talked about it a lot.
But that's the point, dude. That's the point of this podcast. This podcast is not about how do you do annuities, or this podcast is about significant people doing significant things. And let's learn all about those people, because I think folks don't realize, like, to be a badass annuity producer, it's less about the annuities and more about how you treat your wife and the love, like how you spend 8-10 hours a day working your dick to the dirt so that you can get home and spend 2 hours a day with your kid.
Yeah, so I'm going to post that right now. Being a badass, wow, that's really good. Being a badass annuity producer is less about, what did you say? Less about
cinnamon?
Is more, maybe you said more about producer.
Nah, I think I said less about annuities.
Is less about, okay. Is
less about annuities, or less about what goes on at work, and more about what
and more about being good to your wife or something like that.
Good to your wife or good to your family, or Tracy, what it comes down to is it's less about the 10 hours a day you spend trying to be good at annuities, and more about the 2 hours a day you're able to give to the family at home. We spend all that time trying to be good at what we're doing here so that we can be good there. Because as much as we hate it, and money's not the answer, guess what, motherfucker? This world runs on money.
True.
And if I can remove money from the conversation, then all of a sudden I can have much more effective conversation. That's what I found in my life.
From Carson Porter, or do you want me to remain anonymous?
Are you going to post in your own group as anonymous? That's weird.
No, I'm going to put the quote, and then you want me to put the credit to you or anonymous?
I don't give a shit, dude. Do it from you. This was never about credit from me. I'm a fat Caucasian. Do you know how hard it is for me to get an SBA loan?
No, I don't.
Credit doesn't matter for me. I just am tired of people saying there's no opportunity, because that's bullshit.
It is. We live in a land of opportunity. as a.
Did you just dab me? I feel like you just dabbed me.
No.
Thank you. Fucking
I hawked a lung.
Thanks.
I'm still
Cam
no, I'm still recovering from COVID. So
from 2020?
No, from 2023. Okay. Wait a minute.
I have so many opinions about that.
Have we entered a conversation?
Keep my mouth shut because I feel like we might
No. Let's hear them. What do you want to call COVID? What is COVID?
Bullshit.
What about all the people who have died from COVID? Still bullshit?
People die. The day you were born, you began dying. Look at the verifiable. This is not conspiracy theory. Fucking-fiable. And if you're too fucking cuck or pussy, 3 types of people in the world. If you're too big of a bitch to go do the homework, to bring anything other than your opinion to the conversation, shut the fuck up. I'm going to ride your face into the wind.
Now we're doing it. Now we're in it, folks.
Dude, we'll go hard. I go hard in the paint. Waka flocka flame. You get what I'm saying?
This is the A2C podcast.
Oh, yeah, dude. We're going to go hard. If you're too big of a bitch to bring facts, dude, do you know how many times they're like, science? Well, welcome to science. Turns out people that were all in happen to die more. But
I'll tell you a little bit about COVID. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, cowboy.
I thought you'd continue.
Likewise.
No? Okay, all right. Let me tell you a little bit about COVID. I'm not a scientist. I am not a biologist. I am not all the things that people are going to come back to me and tell me you're not X, Y, Z, A, B, C. But guys, what I am is
what would you do if they were like, you're not a redhead?
I used to be. I can't hear you guys right now because my earbud fell out. I used to be a full redhead. Did you know that, Carson?
Yeah, I've seen the pictures. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, I used to be a full on redhead. But what I am is I am a guy who likes to look at things objectively and do my own research. And I feel like I have a level of discernment in information that I take in. So opinion, whatever you want to call it. COVID was serious to an extent. People died from it, and that sucks, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It was a real thing. However you believe it, however it came to be, it doesn't matter. Okay. It was a real thing. And take it from a guy who's getting over COVID number 4 right now, by the way. This is the 4th time I've been diagnosed with COVID, or tested positive, whatever you want to say. I'm a 31-year-old healthy male, have always taken care of himself. Have not really been on a serious workout plan for a while, but could take care of myself in a lot of other ways. This is the 4th time it has affected. I am not a vaccinated person on the COVID side, but I have taken vaccines and pretty much everything else because I was in the military for 8 years and I was required to. Since then, I have not had a vaccine. I am not an anti-vaxxer by any means. I think vaccines have done great things.
All the disclosure done. Tell me your opinion, Tracy.
Okay. COVID was bullshit.
This podcast, by the way, it's going to catch you and me hate. Like, I don't even fucking care.
Dude,
what are people going to do?
I love it.
What are people going to do? Hate and continue to be broke as fuck, doing nothing with their lives?
Right,
continue to
You're going to get like the 20 people who watch this, or between both our networks, maybe a couple hundred to a couple thousand people that watch this in the next couple of weeks aren't going to give a shit because they're already part of our networks and they've already heard of us talk about this stuff, I'm sure. So it was all bullshit, guys. And the reason why it was bullshit was this. It's not because your family members who died was not bullshit. That sucks.
Absolutely tragic.
It's horrible. Can we agree? Death is horrible.
Absolutely.
No matter how that came about. Okay. No matter if it was COVID or whatever it was, it sucks. And I'm so, and I mean this about my heart. I'm so sorry that happened to you because guys, I had people in my life that passed away from COVID, if you want to throw it that way, which honestly, I have no idea. It could have been from COVID, could have been from all the other things mixed with COVID, which is what I believe. And ultimately, guys, gals, ladies, gentlemen, cats, dogs, however you identify, furries, whatever it is. Okay.
Butt plug with a tail on it up the ass.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
COVID is not the sole reason why your family member probably passed away, more than likely. Okay. It was multiple reasons to get there. COVID is not something that kills people. It is COVID mixed with X, Y, Z, A, B, C. The reason why we know this is because study after study after study has come out with this. The CDC has even come out and said, oh, yeah, we don't actually require you to social distance anymore. Why is that? Why is it the rules change so often? It's because people don't know shit about shit. But guys, listen, think for yourself, man. Stop listening. You know the worst, Carson, you know what the worst thing in the world is? Listening to media outlets. Would you agree? That's one of the worst things in the world. Okay, let me name a couple. Can I name a couple?
Dude, what is this podcast going to do? Get fucking canceled before it gets off the ground? We'll start another one. I don't care.
Okay. CNN, MSNBC. Oh, hold on a second for all of you conservatives. Hold on. You ready for this? Fox.
Thank you.
And all of the other ones that are mainstream, they're all in the same category, you guys. If you're listening to any of them, stop. Okay. Think of things objectively. Think of things for yourself. Start subscribing to information, databases, people that are experts, whatever it is, to start looking at things from an objective standpoint, and you'll find the truth.
I would add to that list, like, I get labeled as a conservative, and I'm economically very conservative because economic liberalism is moronic. You're a fucking moron if you're a liberal from an economic standpoint. You're a fucking moron. You're the reason why you're broke. I'm just going to say it. But I tend to be very moderate and even somewhat liberal, frankly, when it comes to social standpoints. I don't care if you're gay, trans, bi. I don't give a flying fuck. Stay away from me and my family. Like we're doing our own thing, but I don't give a fuck what you're doing. 8 billion people on the planet. I can't keep track of you all. Do your thing.
Yep.
Cow guy. Like, I don't ever give a shit.
Right.
Do your fucking thing. Live a happy life. I want nothing more for you. That said, I don't know, man. Like it's all gotten so crazy. Everything's been politicized so much, and they continue. They force the politicization. Is that even a word? Politicization.
I think you're close. I don't think.
If it's not, it should be. I feel like
there is a close word to that.
Like crunchitize me, Captain.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, close.
Yeah, it's close.
But I don't know, dude. I'm a conspiracy theorist, 100%.
No, you're not.
And I am. I believe there is an elitist faction that is not conservative or liberal.
That's not conspiracy theory.
They don't give a fuck about either side. They give a fuck about themselves.
That's not conspiracy theory. Are you a flat earther?
I'm not a flat earther, but I'm not a heliocentric.
Come on, dude. Listen,
what I'm saying is I haven't been up there, so I don't know. So I cannot personally.
You've never been in a plane?
I've been in a plane.
Okay.
I can't say I've seen the curvature of the earth from a plane.
What? You? Yes.
You've got.
When's the last time you looked out the window at 30,000 feet, 24,000 feet? You've never seen the curvature of the earth. Let me ask you, have you actually looked to see the curvature of the earth?
Normally, I'm trying to see if I can spot somebody on the ground jacking dick.
Okay. Next time you are in the air, go look and see, because you can clearly see the horizon. Okay.
I can see horizons. Like, that's not an issue. The curvature, though, I don't know. It doesn't look curved. But at the same time, there's so many. What I'm saying, Tracy, is it's almost my same sentiment towards God. I'm not atheist. I'm not even agnostic. I was born and raised Mormon, and there's still a lot of that in me, but there's so much out of me. I'm not even allowed in the Mormon church anymore. The Mormon church tried to fucking hit me with 32 counts of felony odometer tampering. Plea of abeyance, that shit. That's a whole nother story. But I think we're past.
Stop doing that.
I'm going to have to talk to my attorney to see if we're past the statute of limitations on that one to talk about it out loud. But
that's okay. Are you and I both misdemeanor/felons at some point in our life?
Oh, misdemeanors, quite a few. I've been a punk, dude. There was nobody that grew up rocking out to the used that was not misdemeanor city. Simple,
you're
safe
saying
price.
So you're saying that you used a heart safety pin to your backpack?
Oh, Tracy. Tracy.
I will quote that entire song to you.
Tie-dyed white clothes with fucking symbols on them on a fucking stage. Rise the wake and carry me with all of my regrets.
Wow. You are my soulmate.
This is not a small cut.
Next time we find each other, we're having sex. Just letting you know.
Probably
letting everybody
not.
know here.
Probably not, dude.
It's up to interpretation.
Well, it depends.
It depends on how you define sex.
It depends on if your military skills can outperform my 100 pounds on you behind a dumpster in a dark alley.
Well, a dark alley. It has to be dark, though.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It can't be a well-lit alley. We're not talking about lights.
I also always carry a couple Benchmades on me, and
right. Yep.
Yeah, no, well, I will defend my honor like the Maiden Marian.
My buddy got me this, by the way. It is the best knife that I have.
Is that vibrant blue?
It is. You know what it is?
I can't open it like a bitch. I got a flick.
Mine's a Microtech.
Like a good flick.
I don't need that flick. I got this little bad boy right here. See that?
What is that one?
It's a OTF.
I got this one in Myrtle Beach, dude, and I love it. Carbon fiber, but it's like a
polymer. Yeah.
No, this one's like a tiger pattern, dude. You would love this.
No, I do love it. I already love it. My Benchmade sits in my my truck, my Ford truck, but it's an OTF as well. So I like the OTFs, man.
Dude, guilty pleasure. I used to be a Kershaw guy back in my auto mechanic days.
Yeah, dude.
Largely because I bought Snap-on exclusively. One of my best friends on earth was a Snap-on dealer. And so I was Kershaw MF till the day ends. But I've always loved Benchmade. And I don't know, I probably got $100,000 worth of Benchmades.
Okay, that's excessive.
I've got some of them that I've never even opened. Like I've got a whole collection. Some people collect coins. I collect Benchmades. I love them. So if you want to know what to get me for Christmas,
get him a Benchmade.
Or some licorice.
Hey guys.
I don't like licorice.
I like all licorice. Kershaw. I used Kershaw for a long time until I snapped one. I broke a blade right in half because the steel on a Kershaw. But do you understand that they're not made in America anymore?
Are they not? I don't.
They're not.
I'm going to be honest. I have other things to pay attention to.
Like, I don't know how long ago. I have to look it up. I was about to. I'm not even going to look it up, but I'm going to guess 7 to 10 years ago. 7 to 10. Whoever wants to look that up, go ahead.
That sounds about right, because that's about when I moved off of Kershaw, because like our kitchen knives, the whole knives in the block set was all Kershaw. Everything was Kershaw, and the warranty process became impossible. That's when I moved off of Kershaw, and I always liked Benchmade. And dude, I can't walk into a Sportsman's, a Cal Ranch, Bass Pro Shop. I can't walk in without dropping a few $100 on a knife. I love it. I love it. It's one of the things that makes me the most happy on earth. I come home with a new knife and I hide it from my wife for months.
Which she's not listening to this.
Yeah, that's not true. She's like, "What's that in your pocket?" I'm like, "My dick." And she's like, "That's not your dick."
She's like, "No way, Jose."
She's like, "That's a knife." And I'm like, "It's a knife."
I know what that is.
And then I have to buy her.
I'm looking here because I am the type of guy who fucking hates not knowing shit. I see 2014. That's what I'm looking at. 2014. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like they sold to Emerson CQC out of the U.S. Started manufacturing outside the U.S. Somebody correct me on that if I'm wrong. It looks like 2014. Makes a lot of sense. Good timeline. Somewhere around there. 2014, 2012, 2016, somewhere in there. Anyways, yes. Benchmade is in the U.S. They've always been made in the U.S. They continue to make their blades in the U.S. But I will say that a Microtech, so I have a Benchmade and a Microtech. And the Benchmade's, so like this is aluminum, right? It's not polymer. So it's got this weight to it, but the spring that they use is much better than my Benchmade. My Benchmade,
most of the Benchmades are this free swing now, and like you release the latch and it's solid, but like you hold the latch and it free swings, and then you So you almost come at a person like a Tom and Huck type of situation. Oh, yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I like it.
Who was the dude? Mean Joe? Was it Mean Joe in the graveyard?
Oh man, now you're
Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Tom and Huck Finn.
Yeah.
Mean Joe?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh.
It's gone. I don't got it. I have nothing.
There you are.
But this is a good one though.
There you are, Tyler AF, and here I am, Mean Joe and like.
Wow, look how fucking clear that is. That's insane. My camera's
across the room. My camera.
What are you using? What do you got there? Tell everybody what you have.
It's a knife.
I like it though. No. The camera. The system you're using.
It's a Logitech. So this one is a Logitech Brio 4K. And then my guy is like, you got to get another camera off to the side. So we'll probably do that. We just haven't yet. So, but yeah, it's just a webcam. Logitech Brio 4K. This is a Scarlett 2i2 amp or something like that. I don't even know what the mic is. Whatever he told me.
This is what mine is. If anybody wants to know, that's what my setup looks like.
A ring light.
That's my Logitech camera. This is my Logitech one. Hello.
Dude, Logitech, I'm just going to say it. In the webcam world, Logitech has it locked up. Oh, I've got a Logitech 1080. It's not even 4K. Oh, yeah. It's not even HD. It's a 1080.
Yeah, that's the one I just showed. That's the one I'm just
It's what I travel with. So I have a 1080. It's like $30 on Amazon. I travel with that. I travel with it. All my virtual appointments, which by the way,
is it see that? How much? That's not that much of a difference, right?
No.
That's a $40 camera. You guys ready? $40 camera compared to $1,000 camera. Yeah. That's the difference. It's not that much, dude.
That's what I'm saying. This Logitech Brio 4K, I think it's like 150-ish. And then I'm supposed to get another camera. I've got one down at my Vegas office. But I need to leave that there and get another one. But we'll probably spend $500-600K on, or $500-600K. $500-600 on it. But yeah, dude, like people are out there, dude. That's a whole nother topic, Tracy.
Oh, dude,
people in business spending money on shit that was never going to make them money in the first fucking place.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend $1,000 for the best image quality, motherfucker. The shit you were saying on that stupid ass video you did meant nothing to anyone anyways. It didn't matter what you looked like. You sounded like a freaking moron anyways. Like, I don't know, dude. Folks buying swag and hats to get their business off the ground instead of actually putting money into things that are going to give them money. Oh my God, I can't afford this, but I can afford a $10,000 chicken coop. Well, does your chicken shit $5,000, $10,000 a month? Probably not.
Right.
Spend a couple $100 a month to get the training you need to not be a bitch.
Yo, can I talk about this?
Yes, please go off. Can
I talk about this from the standpoint of the guy who's feels convicted based on the statement you just made? Is that okay?
Dude, I would like nothing more than for you to go off like a cannon.
All right. So everything Carson just said is everything that I've fucking done. Okay. So like looking at a nice, okay, let's go to square one. Okay. So as a entrepreneur, business owner, whatever you want to call yourself. Okay. You try certain things to find successes in that, but there are wants versus needs that are wildly different. Okay. I'm going to go back to this. For those of you who understand, Zoom doesn't really show this very often, but I'm using a 4K camera, okay, with a ring light, with a 43-inch monitor, with this desk is a 60 something by 40 something elbow stand-up desk. Okay, which was not cheap. I redid my entire background in my entire office, which cost thousands and thousands of dollars to do that. Okay, tables, pictures, all that. My mic, My mic's a, I don't know, $500-$600 with the whole setup mic. Okay. None of this will ever or has ever made me money ever. I could do the exact same thing with, you ready? This camera. I'm a little bit more white, but would you listen to me?
I would say Caucasian.
Thank you. Would you listen to me with any less attention if I sat here and looked at this mic, or I'm sorry, looked at this camera versus that camera? No,
dude,
you wouldn't.
To that point, Tracy. So we've got this mastermind and we've got these different levels, right?
Stop spending shit on dumb shit. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we've got this mastermind. The most core tenet of our whole mastermind is what we call Rush. We're working on Rush 2.0, and we're not done yet. In fact, we started it and then we're scrapping what we started and starting over. The core tenet of our whole mastermind was Rush. It was recorded on a 1080 webcam off of it was Windows 8. And this was just 3 years ago because I'm an old fashioned motherfucker and I didn't want to upgrade to Windows 10. Windows 8, 1080, vampire room with nothing but my ring light on, poor lighting, no microphone. It was just the microphone through the webcam, all of it. Do you have any idea? Do you want to know how much life insurance on Rush, the original Rush, we've submitted as a captives and independents across State Farm, Farmers, Liberty Mutual, American National, and independents of all kinds.
This was
We're
last year,
half a billion plus. We're $500 million plus in issued life insurance this year. $500 fucking billion. All of it taught on a 1080, no lighting, no microphone, no this, no that. I had no hat. I'm not going to say I have style now, but I had less style then. I had a lot more swear words then. I was a lot angrier then. I don't know. This is not the shit that makes money. This is just the shit that makes money. This is just the shit that makes money look good.
Dude,
that's it.
And okay, so this is a fantastic avenue for us to talk about. Carson is wearing a Rev shirt right now. Are you not?
I am.
Okay. And it is a Rev what? Rev Syndicate, Rev. What is it? What Rev?
Rev Agency Syndicate. It's a
Rev Agency. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Rev Syndicate, right? So Rev Agency Syndicate. I'm wearing my Nudie Giants shit. I'm wearing a hat. Let's talk, Carson. Let's just fucking talk about this for a second, okay? So Carson's wearing a shirt that probably cost him what? I'm gonna guess $30 to make.
I have no idea. It was. So
I'm gonna guess $30.
It was so insignificant. I didn't even register it. I'm
gonna guess $30. It's probably $30. Anywhere from 25, depending on how much you ordered, to 45. Okay,
let's just say 40. 40.
Okay, yeah. let's say 40. Okay, so I'm a little bit of a bougie fucking cuck. Okay, so
Tracy, to your point, I'm bougie. This is not some like.
What do you?
This is not Vistaprint. These are fresh, clean tees. These things are, I think, 20 or 30 a piece. Anyways, they're nice shirts.
Okay. Yeah. By the way, I do like that. I do like that. I like a nice shirt that. So like a lot of these people, a lot of these like whatever you want to call them, dude. I hate the term influencer, and I use it more often than I would like. But like, unfortunately, dude, we're in the influencer category. Okay, so we just have to fucking embrace it. You're such a piece of shit. You're such a piece of shit.
You influence me.
You're a piece of shit. We're all pieces of shit that influence. Okay. So we're influencers. God, I do that. Does it hurt you? Does it pain you to have me say that?
Dude, I say it sometimes too. And Camille's like, how would you? God. My wife is like, how would you describe yourself? And I'm like, well, I do wealth management. I'm a life insurance expert. And I'm a social influencer in my space. And it makes me want to die. But also,
I hate it, dude.
It's one of the most fulfilling things ever, because if I break it down to the core tenet of the term, I'm influential on accomplishing what I want to accomplish, which is elevating what we're trying to do. So,
right. Yeah.
Don't hate yourself,
weird, man.
Yeah,
no, I'm not.
It's weird.
I hate the term.
It is weird.
I hate the term. The term I despise. But yes, we have an influence over a certain amount of people. So, so whenever we look at like influencers that come out with like a product line or something that they merch to sell, which I am if I was a betting man, I would bet. Oh my God, I would bet so much money on this. You have no idea. I'd bet. I'm going to bet right now, and I will give you the profits to this bet. You ready for this? If I win or lose, I am going to bet $100,000 right now. Okay, $100,000. I got $100,000 sitting around. Okay, that Carson has made $0 from selling T-shirts for his brand. Would that be a successful bet?
You would win. Your odds are 100%.
Okay. All right. So there's a reason why I put that up. And by the way, I'm not the type of guy to have like 6 figures laying around. I like to spend it all. My wife always asks me how much we have in our bank account. I'm like, nothing. We have nothing. I've spent it.
We are so broke, but I also want a bag of dreamsicles.
Exactly. So you go out and you spend money on a better T-shirt. Why? Because you want people who actually buy the fucking shirt to wear it because it's fucking comfortable, and you're okay with spending an extra $15 to $20 for it. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
The point? What is the point of swag if it's so shitty? Nobody wants to represent it.
There's none. There's absolutely none. Okay.
I will tell you this. Folks want to rep your swag because of the way it feels on them before they want to rep your swag because of the brand it represents.
You hear that?
John Doe Insurance or John Doe Construction or John Doe means fucking bullshit to anyone.
Means bullshit.
They want it because it makes their man titties look smaller.
Yep. I got to tell my wife I'm still.
Or it makes their twink body look more muscular. Yeah. Are we doing a flex off? You're going to win.
No, I'm not.
You're going to win, dude.
You know, my friends used to call me, they used to call me cartoon muscles because I'd have such skinny arms, but you know, in a cartoon, it's like a stick and then
where
it's like
it droops under.
No. It's like a bloop, you know, like it's a stick and then it's like a bloop. That's what I look like. Anyways, so you're exactly right, man. So when I want to talk about this so people understand our hats and I don't know, I got a swag bag from when the whole RevCon stuff and when I was supposed to.
Oh, and you got sick and you couldn't come?
Oh, fuck you. I was sick. I got
COVID.
That was my third COVID. I am now recovering from my fourth COVID. Yeah, Carson.
God, I wish they made bigger quotations.
Dude, I will, in the words of my friends, I will suck you off so hard if you don't stop.
Stop it. Don't do that.
Don't, please. All right.
Surrender.
So I surrender. Stop, please. So that swag bag was solid. The thermos or whatever you guys gave me, I use it. I still use it. I think the last time I was on a call or whatever, I use it. I love it because it's practical and I can use it. The IMOs I've worked with, I said, listen, if you give me shit, I am not going to use it. But all your Travis Matthews polos you've sent me and all that, all of those things are being branded for a very long time, right? So what is the point in spending $20 or $30 on something if it doesn't fit or will shrink or whatever? So my message to those of you who may be listening to this is if you're going to do it, fucking do it the right way. All of our polos we give out are Travis Matthews flexible polos that do not shrink in the laundry. Our hats, let me just show you a little bit about this hat. Ignore the fucking receding hairline because I don't give a shit. Our hats, and Carson will attest to this, our hats are branded bills and they cost us $50 just for the hat. $50. We give it to our agents for cost when they want them. We don't even do it anymore because it's such a loss thing for us, which is why I bet you all that money because I knew it wasn't a profit margin for you. So if you think I'm out here trying to make profit or Carson's out here trying to make profit giving you fucking merch, you are so fucking wrong. It is unreal how wrong you are. If you want a quality,
keep going.
If you want a quality piece of merchandise, that's where you're going to get it. But if you think for some reason we're trying to sell this to you or offer it to you because it's making us profit, you're wrong. The only thing you're going to do is piss us off because you committed to something and then didn't go through with that, which is why part of our business model we talked about, Carson, changing, that's part of it. We completely shut down our merch 100%. Nobody can buy merch. We're now saying, listen, okay, let me ask you something. How many people have messaged you about shirts you wear, hats you wear, whatever it is, whatever? Hey, man, I'd like some of that. Have you had people message you out of the blue like, hey, man, I'd like that?
No, in our mastermind, we have people all the time like, oh, I want some of that. But what they want is they want it for free.
Yes. That's what I was getting at. People want it, but they don't want to pay for it. But if I said, listen, this is a piece of shit, let me send it to you, but rep it everywhere you go, the answer would be, no, I'm not going to do that. But if I said, hey, you gave me $30 for this and it's solid quality, rep it everywhere you go, it's still going to be no, because you're paying $30. So guess what, Carson? The point of the story is you can't fucking win.
I think you can. I think you can win.
Oh, wait, hold on. What's the win? You give it for free.
A tax write-off.
Oh, yes, that's it. Free.
Because Uncle Sam,
those of you who want to be a part of the team,
Uncle Sam wants you, but what he really wants is to put you over a barrel and waylay, pummel, pants down their cargo shorts. Uncle Sam wears cargo shorts. Come on. Was that your belt off? What? Did you put your belt on the desk, Tracy? I don't even know what to do right
Uncle
now.
Sam, I am ready. I'm ready. Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam, Tracy has his belt on the desk.
My belt is off. Actually, this is the this is the other side. It's not one of those flippable ones, but it's a black belt. Do you see the curvature of my spine? How it's curving my belt?
Scoliosis.
Scoliosis.
Yeah. Dude.
That's funny. That was good.
Oh,
that was good. Aiden, keep that in there.
Dude, for real. So we've been rolling a few hours now.
We have, yeah.
Before I let you go, Tracy.
Yep.
I don't care if it takes 60 seconds or 60 minutes. If there was any amount of infinite wisdom, if this was your last opportunity to ever reach out to a world of 8 billion people and hope that they have an opportunity to step forward into something other than being a cuck or a pussy.
Or
there's
fuck.
3 types of people on earth. We hit that. If this was your last opportunity to ever pour value into a world that you didn't even know cared, but you care, what rant would you go off on?
You know how much pressure that is?
Probably
it's almost like
less
I'm
than
dying.
the folks that exploded in the submarine a couple months ago.
It's almost like I'm dying, Carson, and like I'm giving you my last words.
What if you fucking died tomorrow? It's not promised.
Oh, man.
It's not promised, Tracy, for you or me. This is coming from a dude that, I had cancer earlier this year. And
that's true.
I didn't even tell my wife that I had cancer until I got some clean blood tests back. And we had some domestic disputes about that. 0 bruises, folks. Chill out. But
chill out, everybody. Fuck Jesus.
But no, dude,
commas in between them.
If this was something that lasted beyond you and your mortal existence, what would you just want? Because I know you're a person of empathy. That's why you're here. If you weren't, I wouldn't have even asked you to be here. What would you just give everything to have everybody know?
I'm going to try to not get super emotional. That's a pretty serious question. But I think it's important for people to understand that, life's not always cookie cutter. You don't always get to see the downside or the struggles or the hardships. So I'll be real. Life's not always easy, guys. Everybody goes through shit. Everybody goes through hardships. We all deal with things differently. It's important to not make yourself seem as though you are in whatever you're in alone, right? Somebody's been there, maybe not exact, but somebody's been through that similarly. So it's not that I know or Carson knows or whoever knows what you're going through, but it's important to understand that we understand to a certain extent because him and I we've been through shit. We've lived a life. Doesn't mean it's the same life you've lived, and it's probably something different, but we care because we're human and we like and we love, not just like, we love. Okay. Love is a pretty strong word out there. And I will say this, that I love Carson. I love his family. I want him to be successful. I love his business. I love a lot of people around me, but it's not the same type of love to my family. But I want them to be successful in a way that I'm willing and vetted to have interest in that And to a certain extent, Carson and myself and more people than you think are vetted and love you and want you to be successful with however you define success. And I think that's important to understand. There's a distinguishing factor between success as society sees it versus success how we see it, because success isn't based on how much money you make. That's actually probably one of the last factors. So my message to you would be to find out what defines success for you. And if there's numbers involved, go redefine it. I was on a call the other day. I was on a call the other day with a client. It was 2 days ago. And it was an hour and 59-minute call, 58-minute call, Zoom call. It was our fourth meeting. And I was speaking to the client in a way that I had not really realized that I was speaking or the goals I had defined until I got to that point. And a lot of our process to get to that point was to figure out what they really wanted. And what they wanted was legacy. It was to take care of their kids, their grandkids, their great grandkids. It was to leave an impact on this world that they felt they could sacrifice everything that they've had up to that point. Because ultimately, guys, we work, when I say guys, I mean guys, gals, whatever, we work our butts off to gain a certain level of stature or monetary income or whatever. And they gave all that up, all the millions of dollars that they had. And they basically said, I want to live off the minimums and I want to give the rest to the people that I love because I care about them. And I don't want them to have to struggle the way that I struggled. And if you can get to that point in your life where you care about others more than you care about yourself, I feel as though that means you are more successful than the Bill Gates. You're more successful than the Warren Buffetts. You're more successful than the Elon Musks. You're more successful than anybody else on this planet where you can put other people first. So to leave you guys with whatever, I'm going to leave you with this. Put yourself last. Put yourself last in such a selfless act that you leave an impact where people don't even know your name. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows your name, but you do. You know you made an impact. Something that I can't undo what I've already established is that unfortunately people do know my name. Unfortunately, people do know the impact that I have because I sought that out as a selfish act. And if I wouldn't have done that, I would have been able to leave an impact where people didn't know who I was. And that's the most selfless thing you can do. I've already screwed that up for myself. Don't do that. Go and leave a selfless impact because that's what's going to mean more to you than anything else on the planet. So if I were to leave anybody else out there listening to this, it would be that. Be selfless. I didn't even cry, dude. I'm good. I kept it together.
Dude, you've been living in that for a minute.
Yeah.
We ought to chat about that after at some point.
Sounds good.
Some deep stuff, dude. Tracy, I thank you, man. I appreciate you. Seriously, you're not just one of my favorite people in the business. You're one of my favorite people on earth. 8 billion people. I must say that.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I will tell you that without making you feel like I'm just saying this, you are as well. Thank you.
Well, I feel like that's a lot of progress, folks. I just want you all to recognize that a bitch that drives a Ford and a man's man that is all about GM can actually get along.
A 3-incher versus a 4-incher, dude.
Dude, did you say a 3-inch root is a 4-inch root?
No, I said a 3-incher versus a 4-incher, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't even know where to go with that. We were on such a good, spiritual. People were going to make VHSs.
That's where you have to take it. You have to. You just have
folks
to.
Were going to make VHSs of this and play it at the local frickin' monastery. And it was going to be great.
Perfect.
Tracy, appreciate you, dude. Thank you for being here, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for tuning into the A2C podcast today. I appreciate you joining me on this unfiltered journey into the minds of remarkable people. I hope you enjoyed the candid conversations, the authenticity, and the insights shared. Remember, this is an ad-free podcast, so your support in sharing this with others, well, it means the world to me. If you want to stay connected with me and the podcast and be the first to know about our upcoming guests and episodes, follow me, the podcast, whatever, on social media, A2C Podcast on Facebook, and we'll get our Instagram and everything else set up. At cporter389 is my own personal stuff on all platforms. Your feedback, your ideas, they're invaluable to me. Drop me a message, Drop the podcast a message. Share your thoughts. Let me know who you'd like to hear from next. Together, we're on this mission to explore all the facts of success and life, but be candid as hell about it. So I appreciate you. Come find me, come follow me, and let's do some awesome things together. Appreciate y'all.